Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh.
Welcome back, man. Tom, what's good, dude?
Oh, we're out here. We're Bing chilling. It's another beautiful. I shouldn't say
For ice
beautiful. It looks
cream?
like we're about to have miserable weather outside. But we're here for another great old Wednesday, talking about the news. And boy, howdy, is there news to talk about.
Yes. 30 NSG, brother. How we doing? You're muted. You're a little soundless.
I said,
There you
I
go.
said, great. It's been just another great week in gaming to talk about stuff.
Another banger after another banger after another banger. Mr. Industry Indigo, what's good, man? How's your week going? It's hump day.
Hump day. It's been insane. We talked about it last week, but just when you think like the next week can't beat this one, Xbox comes in and just does what they do, and they constantly give us more to talk about.
There is news dropping with this Xbox controversy minutes before we went live. We just had another massive update. So we're going to get into that in a little bit, but we got to talk about the Sony stuff first and pick up right where we left off. And as we get started, shout out. We got a Hypnotic raid coming in. What's up,
Hey-o.
boys? How we doing? Welcome in. Good to see y'all. All right. So this first topic, we got to get right into it because we got a lot of news we got to get through today. This first one is we got to talk about Sony. Now, for those of you who don't know, because you might live under a rock, Sony is killing physical media. Physical PlayStation discs are going to stop being printed as of January of 2028, which gives us about a year and a half, more or less, kind of less, to collect all of the remaining physical media, because as of January 2028, there won't be any more discs. Like, that's it. They're not making any more. All the discs that will be made will stop being made. Like, our time with discs is coming to an end. So that brings us to a report here that we're going to, Tom, let's, I'll push the button. Let's get to the news. So if we take a look here, now this is a tweet, but it's coming from Jason Schreier, okay, reporting this news. This is talking directly about what's going on at Sony. Now here we see Jason Schreier shared new information about the future of physical format on PlayStation. So this is a little bit of inside information about how Sony is handling this controversy, because, like, guys, they announced it, we heard about it, and Sony has said nothing about it. They have gone radio silent about discussing the physical media. We have found out that the plants have been changing direction about who's running the plants and what the plants are manufacturing. We talked about that last week. But here we go. Sony considers that its digital player base is already large enough to do without those who continue buying games in physical format. So right there, we're going to take a big old pause right there. The reporting coming in is that Sony doesn't care if you're going to complain about physical. They're just moving forward anyway. I mean, guys, are we just going to roll over and take that from Sony? Because that seems a little aggressive.
Their complaint department's just a brick wall right now with the Sony logo on there.
I mean, that's certainly how it feels.
I think, unfortunately, if they're already in the headspace of, oh, well, we're going to be able to float along fine with the digital amount of people anyways, it reads to me that nothing that we can actually say will actually make them reconsider. Like, it's very clear they are full deck, like, hands on deck on this. Like, there is no changing their course. Like, they are already headstrong into this. There is no retrofitting this decision or changing it now. But like, how bold of you to be like, oh, well, people buy digital, so that's it. We're done with physical. There's enough. Screw the physical players. They're just gonna have to, switch over to digital. That's what we're gonna do.
That's right.
The problem with this is they're banking on people because they're super big, right? They're the leader of the console market, right? 93, 95 million, whatever consoles they have right now. They're projected to hit like 120 in the lifespan of the actual console itself. But now with the prices rising with the consoles, that scares them a little bit. So now they have to start pressuring the people that are already on the console itself. And they know that people are not going to give up their whole entire library, right? They're going to be like, there'll be a little bit of pushback. But what they really don't understand is the power of the masses of people that when they start, I talked about this on my show, when they start revolting, right? If let's say just 5 million people of the 93 million people, when it gets to a tipping point, let's say it's like 8 million people, 9 million people, there's a lot more people that are sheep than shepherd, right? And once the shepherds start to tip over, the sheep will follow, and they'll be like, well, yeah, I'm not supporting them. Did you hear what they did with this? Did you see what they did with that? They don't have full games anymore. And that's the gamble that Sony's doing right now, because they're like, yeah, it's fine. They say they don't want digital, but we're going to do it anyway. And they'll gamble because it's like making a live service game, which they're doing more of now, right? Investing more into live service as well.
Oh, yes. That's exactly it.
I think what's funny is that if on Twitter right now, anything that is like tied to Sony that is making any type of post, all of the comments will be about go back on your decision. I want to play physical. I want to do this. So like Insomniac put out a post about like Wolverine, and all of the comment section is I want it to be physical. I want physical back. PlayStation sucks. You know, what are you guys doing? It's like, that's not even the company that made the decision, but anything even just tied to Sony right now. You had it on, I believe it was like the Spider-Man new movie had a post, and people were commenting like, hey, Sony, can you fix your PlayStation stuff? It really sucks right now. What you're doing with like anything remotely near Sony is just, hey, you know, oh, fix it, do this. Yeah, in the comments, Insomniac, they're not the ones who pulled this, you know, they didn't pull this trigger, but everyone's just in the comments just like, no, I want physical back.
Yeah, but see, I'm cool with this, Tom. I'm cool with this.
No, I
blow them up. Because
yeah,
because the president of Insomniac, which is a company that is owned by Sony, is going to have to report this back to Sony and say, hey, this could hurt Wolverine sales because people are boycotting the company now. Like, you've pissed off people. They're making a fuss.
I don't think it's going to get traction, but there was people calling to boycott the new Spider-Man movie because it's still technically Sony, and I don't think that's going to gain that much traction. I don't think people are going to stick with that because you're going to have people be like, "Well, it's different, and I want to see Spider-Man," but like people,
well, it's just that
upset.
one thing I do like.
Yeah, I'll give it a pass on this. Well, of course I'm going to go see the new Spider-Man movie. Like, but people are pissed. Play has limits.
I love this. Yeah, play has limits. Okay, so you know, getting back to this report. So Sony considers their digital player base is large enough to do without those who continue wanting physical discs. So you're just going to get in line. You're just going to do what we want. They won't change their retail distribution. Stores, this is the critical point here. Stores sell empty boxes with only download codes. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine just all of the games you go and you see in Target and Walmart, GameStop, they're just digital cards. You're buying the boxes. So you get all these blue boxes, and it's only a matter of time before they kill that too. So, and they're going to say something like, oh, well, the plastic and the environment. Yeah, we're saving on plastic. Oh, well, now it's all we sell is the little cards. You know, now you just get the little cartridge, the not even a cartridge, just a little postcard in there. And even that'll be too much. And eventually they'll just do away with that too. I mean, this is nuts, dude. That's insane. They're convinced that over time, players will accept a 100% digital gaming future. So they're just forcing your hand. Right. You will accept it because we're taking away any other option for you not to accept it. Then they don't think it's necessary to maintain contact with fans. But this company needs to burn. Like, this company deserves to collapse now. Like, so if this is true, in this market where they keep raising prices, like, guys, GTA is not out yet. They are getting bold. The mask is coming off. The mask that we got a GTA pre-order, and Sony has pulled the mask off. They have been holding this mask back, leaving it on for, I would guess, years now. But this is how they really feel right here. This is worse than anything Nintendo has ever done that we've ever covered. This is worse than anything Nintendo has ever done, because Nintendo might think this, but they don't talk like it. They don't say it like it's true.
Right, they say it behind closed doors, not on Twitter.
They say, but I think that's okay.
Yeah,
I think that's fine. You want to think you're better than everybody else. You do it behind closed doors. We're going to call you out on it anyway when you act like it. He'll be back in just a second. But like, this is nuts. They don't think it's necessary to maintain contact with fans. Who do you think you are? Oh, you think you're Sony? Okay. Tom, you had something to say?
It really shows it shows the mindset of these companies. You are not a person, you are a digit, and you give us money. That is what you are to us. You are not a you do not have feelings or thoughts. You are a paycheck to us. And we don't care what you have to say. As long as you keep on funneling in money to us, we don't care. Did you like the game? You didn't like the game? I don't care. Give us money.
I think they forgot how they got the money. I think they just think the money's just coming out of nowhere, right? Now, the money comes out of the fans, the people, because you gave them a product and they thought it was worth it, so they gave you money. And then they gave you more money because they were enjoying themselves. But now you've broke that. And they're like, no, they're still going to give us money. They do. Someone said it in chat. They think you're, you're submissive. You're just going to give them whatever you have.
That is exactly it.
Yeah.
This right here. I mean, this line here, if they don't even have to be in contact with you, they don't think they have to be accountable to you. If that belief is true, it is the worst piece of information I've ever seen coming out of the games industry. I think it's the worst. I mean, as far as customer relations is concerned, right? They trust the strength of their brand and the loyalty of their community, and imagine they will continue to support their digital games. You're just going to do it because we tell you to do it. That's nuts. So then we get to the profitability points, right? When Sony sells a first-party physical game to a retailer, the retailer gets around 30% of the sale price. So that means, like, if you're buying a game at GameStop, that means the retailer is getting 30% of that game. And of course, this also is a direct tie. Everybody has said, and we've talked about it here about like killing the secondhand market. Well, wait a minute. If we're even discussing this, then they do want to kill the secondary market.
100%.
They don't want there to be a secondary market because they want all the money. They don't want a little more money. They don't want some of the money. This is PlayStation going full mask off, saying we want all the money and we want it now. This is nuts. At digital, it helps them keep 100% of it. But I don't know how that's possible because you're still going to lose $2, $3, $4, $5 like selling that. Why would a store want to sell your games if they're not even making money on the games?
Well, I heard something before that they said when they announced this, they didn't even tell the retailers ahead of time. They found out when we found out.
Right.
That's crazy.
This is I don't know how this works, and you got to think, okay, if I'm Walmart, if I run Walmart and I think of like, hey, we have a lot of our floor space is in gaming, but they are making it more and more difficult for us to even be in this business. And now, like, first we have Nintendo a couple months ago, like, telling us to sell MSRP at $80, and then they're undercutting the $80 games to $70 digitally. So now we have to undercut our physical games to $70 to compete so that people are willing to buy here at Walmart. And now we turn around a couple weeks later, and Sony is pulling it even worse because it's not $10 now. Now it's all digital, so we keep all the money. Why would you sell anything PlayStation, anything Sony? You're not making any money on this. Like, you're screwing over your retailers now too. If this is screwing over everybody for a couple of percent of margin.
Well, the way that I think about it though is for luxury brands, they use their storefront as a method of marketing, right? Because they say if we're going to pay $4,000 a month, $6,000 a month to have a storefront here, and all these people walk past it all the time, when they think I want a luxury item, they're going to remember, oh, I went past there. So in this case, they're paying Walmart or they're paying GameStop to keep their games in those stores. So if they look at it and they say, okay, we have a deal worth $100,000 a month or, $1 million a month or whatever, with GameStop to put the games there, they're staying relevant in people's minds that are walking into GameStop. So I get that GameStop's not making money from the sale of games, and that sucks because they were previously. However, they are theoretically going to be making money based on the store space that's taken up by Sony, by Nintendo, by Xbox. So, and that's not a justification. It means they're definitely cutting off a portion of their income, but they're still going to make something, at least for the next few years, like you said, while they're selling a physical hard shell with a downloadable key card or downloadable code in it.
Yeah, but why would you go to Target, Best Buy, and Walmart to buy a digital code when you can just sit in your house and do the exact same thing?
No, but that's
or a
the
plastic
point.
box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say that because they're going to say 2 years from now, they're going to come out and say, oh, physical sales are down. Well, no, duh. You made it impossible to want to go do it.
Right.
So now they're going to say it doesn't even justify the existence of that anymore. And I think right now it's 2026. By 2030, we could see GameStop, unless they end up actually buying eBay, which doesn't sound like it's going to happen, gone. And we're going to see the large sections in big box retailers like Walmart or Target for game sections is going to be pretty much gone.
Well, if you look right now, if you go to Best Buy, Walmart, Target, you see Nintendo sections bigger than PlayStation and Xboxes, right?
Sure.
Because they're still doing the stuff. They know what the retailers need, and they also know what their customers want. Where Sony is like, we don't really care about this, and they're done. And then Xbox, obviously, will probably follow suit as well.
Thinking about your brick and mortar stores, your Walmart, your Target, your GameStop. When you look at the gaming section, when you look at what's there, they have the games, but then there's also the physical part of all of the consoles. You have your physical consoles, you have your controllers, you have any of the cables, any of the accessories, anything like that. Through Steam, they're doing the whole Steam Cube. They just did the Steam controller. The Steam Cube hasn't, I don't believe that went for sale yet. They only did the prices, right?
No, I think it was
Cube,
June 30th.
Yeah, it's out.
It's out? Okay.
Shipping June 30th, yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong, is the Steam Cube you can only get through Steam?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I am curious, so this is Sony is playing their hand of like the beginning of all of this. Do you think that we're maybe looking down the barrel that when PS6 does come out, Sony is going to be exclusively selling it through their website in the same way that they did the Steam Cube with Steam? Do you see that they may do a full hard pullout of all retail space? Like, they're saying, okay, we're going to have, like the key cards in boxes. Do you think that there is now an argument to be made that they're going to just go full, well, we're going to take all of the profits by having it that you can only get physical hardware through our store, through online, or like an exclusive partnership with like Amazon or maybe Walmart?
PlayStation can't afford to do that. That's a really great question, Tom.
Yeah,
But
that's a good question,
the follow-up is they can't afford to do that. Steam can, because Steam makes so much money already from all the other things that Steam does that they can afford to be exclusive with their hardware, because that's not where their business is primarily located. Whereas with PlayStation needs to pick up all the holiday sales. They need the Black Friday sales. They need all of the 4th of July sales. They got to get it in the hands of kids. They got to get it in the hands of impulse buyers that are just going and picking it up. They got to get it in the hands of people, all the people of all different walks of life, to get it in their hands for GTA 6. PlayStation doesn't have the luxury of messing with retailers, and I think it's only a matter of time before Walmart or Target or somebody's going to snap back at them and be like, you can't do what you're doing here. Or we're going to
they'll just stop carrying their stuff altogether.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it with
threatened in the
Xbox.
past.
I mean, we saw it with Xbox where they threatened to pull it off shelves, or it's not even on the shelves anymore. Place like Costco doesn't have anything related to Xbox. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Costco took Xbox off, and in the past, when these video game companies get greedy like this, the retailers have threatened and said, if you undercut us, we'll take all of your stuff off the shelves. Like, we don't need you. We're already a big box store. We're making money regardless. Like, my gosh, Costco, like, look at the Switch 2 games in Costco over the last 7 months, right? Like, you can get Switch 2 games for half off.
Yeah. They don't even have them in my Costco anymore. They're gone.
Yeah.
The only thing you can get at Costco is the system now.
Is the system. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They don't need, they had the Metroid and Pokemon and the Kirby games, and you were at $30 at the lowest I saw on Twitter. That's nuts, dude. $30. That is insane. But all right, so this kind of gets a little crazier, right? So digital helps them keep 100% of it. I don't know how that works. I think that's poppycock. They expect to significantly increase their profit margin. So this is just profit margins in an era where 30, you said it, it's like there's an AI problem. The cost of the consoles is going up. So now they're doing things, what, to lock you into staying in their ecosystem? Because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. This is a trap. It is a form of corporate entrapment. You can't leave. They think you're too stupid to leave, to figure out a way out. So they're going to take away your option. Well, if you buy Wolverine, if you buy GTA 6, if you buy Intergalactic, and it's a digital only, that means we own you. You can't go anywhere because you can't take it anywhere. Like if you don't log into the console in 3 years, we'll just delete your account. That means all your save files, all your purchases, all your microtransactions are gone.
Real quick, the digital, when it says digital help them keep 100%, I think they're just talking off of their own like Sony PlayStation Store. Not the, if it goes to retail, they have to give it. That's why it's a plastic box with a code inside, and they would get a percentage of that. I think when they just say digital helps keep 100%, that's only coming from the Sony store itself.
So the only problem with that is because I think you're right, but I have seen this, like we just had one up before of it was this kind of similar breakdown post, and all of them are saying the same thing. So I hope that in the article when we eventually like get to it, like Jason actually,
because there's no way if it was a box store they're keeping 100%, because why would the box store, they're getting nothing from it.
That's the point.
They're taking retail space away, and they're not getting anything. That wouldn't happen.
Well, they'd get paid for the retail space. It's like groceries. You pay to put groceries in the store. So like you go buy a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch, they're paying to put it on the shelf.
Yeah, well, most box stores, though, they buy the systems. This is why when they talk about systems being shipped and sold, right? Like you could ship a system, and Target might buy, let's say, 500,000 units to put in all their stores, right? And then when it's shipped, they shipped 500,000 units, but sold 250,000, because it's not a sale to the person until they can make an account and sign into Sony. That's a sale to Sony. It's not a sale once, obviously, Sony's still making the money because Target bought it, but they're not in the ecosystem yet where people are actually spending money because they haven't made an account yet.
Sure.
Now, there is another angle to this story that I want to switch over to, and this is something that heel versus babyface caught. I did not catch this. This is a really interesting story here that I will need to look more into later on, but insider sale, president and CEO of Sony sell 225,000 shares, and this news came in. It was yesterday this was announced, but he also shared the chart himself. So reported Sony employees selling stock in the last couple of months. What is happening with this company? This is huge. This is a big sell-off that is happening right at the time where we're having this PlayStation problem. Now, Sony's a massive company. Okay? Could we make a claim that the video game industry and the PlayStation department inside of Sony would cause them to be doing a big sell-off like this? No, that's a little odd. I wouldn't think that that's all, but it makes me think there is something else in play going on here. My gut tells me it's related to AI, and it has something to do with AI and how things are changing. But a sell-off of this size going on right now is something that's concerning, and I don't know how else to take this information. I don't know. Isaac, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, from a strictly business perspective, they usually say that you should, and Wizard, you know this too from what we've worked on, there are two things that are a dead giveaway if a company is struggling. Number one is they fire their marketing team. Number two is the insiders at the top are selling off shares. So we don't see the marketing team necessarily being fired, but maybe it's because they've already been canned in the 50,000 layoffs we've had in the last 2 years. But now we're seeing, this isn't just a person. This isn't just like, VP of whatever.
Right.
This is the president and CEO selling 225,000 shares. So, maybe they make the argument, oh, they had to buy a beach house in Malibu or whatever. They had to, buy someplace in Tokyo. I don't know what the exact case is, but the reality is that's a lot of shares. And with no justification as to what's actually happening here, this seems like it goes perfectly in line with people make these moves before something dramatic happens. And they know that something dramatic is going to happen because the statement that's just made, tying it back to what we were talking about before, we're okay with the loss of people that only want physical media. They know there's going to be a drop before presumptively people accept it and they get back up to where they were with only digital.
Right. I just think that he has the same person. Maybe he's working with Nancy Pelosi. Maybe she sold her stocks and stuff. We'll see.
Hey, a lot of people have gotten rich because of Nancy Pelosi.
I mean,
both
she's
inside and
1,000,
outside of.
So yeah.
Yep. Shout out, friend of the channel, Nancy Pelosi. But there is one more angle to this, right? And I think that this is really interesting. And it is, if we jump over here to change.org, there are now petitions popping up of people demanding and thinking that they can trigger the next, Stop Killing Games initiative. But it's, don't kill the disc. That is the name that I've been seeing floating around. Tell Sony to keep physical PlayStation games. You could have 1 million signatures here. You could have 5 million signatures here, unfortunately. And this is 6 days ago. This was Game Rant covered this 6 days ago. So that means this has been going on for a few days. Guys, these petitions in the EU, they might be able to do something, but it's under different circumstances, like we saw with the Stop Killing Games movement. In the United States, these aren't going to do anything. These corporations are laughing at us for even thinking that we could petition something to make some kind of a change here. But very seriously.
Let's look at the number that 30 gave, right? 30, you said there's 93 million current
I think it's like 93.5, something like that.
Yeah, there you go. We could have 93.5 million sign this, and PlayStation doesn't care. Now, I'm not saying we would get to that because obviously they've said, 80% of people are already willing to accept it. They don't care. Every single person that plays it, that plays with a PS5, a PS4, could sign this, and they're just going to laugh it off and say, haha, that's what we're going to do anyway. That's exactly what Hollywood's doing. They're making movies that they know no one wants, but they do it anyway. And people just continue to go, like Tom talks about, of course I have to go see the new Spider-Man movie. Of course I have to buy the PS6 because they told me I have to. Of course I have to download this newest game. Nothing about this is about people that are educated making their own decisions. It's all about people just falling in line and doing what they're told. And strictly Japanese companies, but some US companies are really, really on the ball with where spending habits are. And they know people will spend the money, but they're spending the money because they strategically sucked the discs out of the ecosystem while simultaneously feeding in digital marketing for digital games into the ecosystem to create a balancing act until now they can just fully get that one final pull and get discs completely out.
Well, exactly. With stuff like this, though, it's all bull, but at the same time, it's good because it keeps it relevant. Because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, right? Where if this keeps going, like right now, there's people canceling, and all these companies know about is money. If money goes down, they make a change. If money doesn't go down, they stay on course. And right now, I don't know if we're covering this, but Sony's offering people 50% off of their PlayStation Plus right now.
Of course.
Right? So because people are canceling their PlayStation Plus accounts, or they're just canceling completely. They're like, no, don't go anywhere. We'll give you 50% off for whatever time period that is. That's when you know, okay, something's happening. These .org stuff is not going to do it. It's when you start hitting them in the wallet, that's when it starts to change.
That's literally it. Yeah. Great point here. Yes, if you go to cancel your PlayStation Plus, I canceled mine. I didn't get this because I did it the day it dropped. The day we got the news, I canceled my PlayStation. Fans canceling PlayStation Plus to boycott Sony killing discs. Discover you can actually save money by threatening to quit. Now, does that mean you should accept it? Like, I think it's 50% for maybe
3 months.
8 months.
It says it in that image.
Oh, it's 3 months. 3 months. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, save 50% for 3 months. Do you know why this matters? Because they report PlayStation Plus, not like 30, your point is 100% correct. If you want to punch Sony in the wallet, you don't just stop buying games. You don't, because that actually hurts individual developers. So like let's say if it was to be like, hey, I'm not buying just Stellar Blade, right? If it was like, no, I'm taking my anger out, I'm not going to buy Stellar Blade. It's dropping tomorrow. Like, actually, that hurts that developer. If you want to hit Sony itself, you cancel your subscription. You undo that. They report that to shareholders every fiscal reporting. Every time they report to their shareholders, the PlayStation Plus number goes in there with how many subscribers they've got and how much money it generates. Definitely how much it generates, and usually how many subscribers they have. That's something they're held. You can hold and force them to be held accountable through that. Here's the problem, though, and here's the flip side of this. You can do all the petitions. You can fight back with your wallet, but we're reaching a point, my friends, where it's like it's time to abandon ship. Unfortunately, and that's the truth. It's time to abandon ship because we could talk about these petitions and don't kill the disc. Tell Sony fight back with your wallet. It's all temporary. You know how we know that? Because right here, Sony already invested $34 million to repurpose its EU PlayStation disc factory. They've been planning, and it's reported here from this ORF Salzburg that they had been planning this overhaul for a long time, which means this has been in the pipeline for some time. They were planning this. And if you think that they're going to undo a 34 million investment because you're signing a petition that's saying, please don't, please, please don't take away discs. Please don't do it. It's not going to happen. Look at there. And the thing is, people will fall for this too. I can't imagine how many people went to, I'm canceling my subscription. Oh, 50% off. Oh, 50%. We're back in business, baby.
Ready? And it's going to be, okay, well, I'll do this because technically they're making less money, and then I'll cancel it afterwards. And you know what's going to happen? 3 months goes by. They don't remember that this whole controversy was going on because it'll eventually get swept away by the wave of media. We've seen it before. Extremely important topics have been swept away. We don't talk about certain things anymore, even though we should. And then they're going to get charged for their normal amount. They're not going to think about it. I think, us on the channel have talked about how they're sometimes we watch that Caleb Heron guy, the guy who does the financial reviews.
Caleb Hammer.
Caleb Hammer. He goes through, and the amount of people that spend a ridiculous amount of money on things that they don't need, they go into ridiculous amounts of debt on like stupid, frivolous things. So many people are going to be like, oh, they're going to be priced out of it. They're going to be priced out of it. They're going to have to. Nope. They will keep consuming on even if they're bankrupt. They will keep
Tom,
doing.
That's what credit cards are for.
But that's my point, is that it goes to this magic card that does it, and I'll have to deal with it eventually. But today I'm playing Wolverine. That's tomorrow. I'm playing Wolverine today because I bought it digitally on my PlayStation 5
because
Pro
I wanted
it. Because I wanted it.
We are literally living in the prequel to Idiocracy. Like we are leading up to
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know, man, but this is getting worse, and they're literally hitting you with in marketing. Isaac and I would know this. It's called a tripwire. Mm-hmm. This is a tripwire. It's a tripwire transaction. You try to do something. Oh, you tripped over the tripwire. You trigger some kind of either a benefit or don't cancel, and they keep you subscribed. And now it's going to auto renew. And next time it auto renews, it won't be for 50% off. So look, this whole situation is just it's continuing to grow. I mean, I'm gonna pull this up one more time. Like the Sony people they're selling off their stock. That's a precursor to something is coming. This is not financial advice. This is just an observation. Shout out to Hill versus Babyface for catching this one. But Sony, man, they deserve the worst.
Yeah, but can we just look at this for one more second? Can we just look at this for one more second? We've got the president and CEO, the chief strategy officer, the chief digital officer, and another chief digital officer. These are people that would be in the room when these decisions are being made. So, like,
Yes.
this is not just, okay, just the president sold. And I get maybe the president sold more than the other ones, but 25,000 shares at $20 a piece is still like $400,000 or whatever the number is. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But that's a lot of, like, that's a lot. And, like, unless all three of them are buying conjoined beach houses or buying one beach house, there's no reason that all three within the matter of like 6 to 8 weeks would be selling these at the same time.
Well,
I would go so far as to say
4 of them are
again,
in the 3 days of each other.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would go so far as to say, and again, this is speculation. I don't know that this is true. I wouldn't be surprised if behind closed doors, these people had a conversation and they said, well, let's stagger the sell-off so people don't think that we're doing anything shady.
I mean,
Again,
this is
I don't know
this
that
is
happened, but
this is nearly $5 million in a sell-off.
right.
What this guy just did here. It's nearly
Exactly.
5 million sold off. Why?
So as you
That's
said,
quite a
Wizard,
bit.
you said like something's going on with Sony. Like there is murmurs, right? Back in 2024, there was an article written that Sony might be up to sell Spider-Man, right? The rights to Spider-Man back to Disney and Marvel, right? And then it went quiet, and now Spider-Man comes out at July 31st, and there's been more rumors now this year that Sony might be getting rid of Spider-Man back to Marvel because they only bought it from them for $7 million, right? And now it's worth like $10 billion. And now the last Spider-Man comes out at the end of this month, and you want to sell it when it's super high back to the people because it's going to make $1 billion, right? We all know Spider-Man's going to make $1 billion, right? So it makes me wonder because you said if there's problems happening with Sony and they're offsetting stuff, because it would take them another 10 years to 20 years to get the $10 billion if they didn't sell it now, right? They don't want to deal with it. They're like, we already got the juice out of this orange. Let's just sell it back for a lot of profit. Again, rumor, but you just saying that they're dumping stuff. There's got to be something happening with Sony. Maybe they're hurting for stuff, right?
You know, that would be if we were to see now. I personally don't think Sony is going to sell Spider-Man because it's their
bread and butter. Right.
It's their bread and butter. It's something that they know that they can guarantee returns on, whereas Sony movies are trash. Like Sony movies are garbage. You know, whereas like Tom and I talk about like when Disney does something, it's usually through a lens of malice. Like there's a bunch of idiots there, but there's also usually people that are doing some nefarious things. But when we talk about Sony, they are, oh my gosh, they are run by stupid people. Every movie is stupid. Terrible, terrible movies run by a team of idiots.
Are you saying that Madam Web wasn't a good movie?
That was the best one of the bunch, but only because you were laughing at it and not with it.
You're telling me that Morbius was not a good movie?
They need to put more Morbius back in theaters. But look, if they were to sell Spider-Man back to Disney, it would be worth $10-20 billion dollars. And it is that crazy. And that's what Sony would be trying to do. So I don't know. I would love to see that play out. We'll make a couple videos off of that if that announcement happens, but we'll have to wait and see there.
Speculation and rumor, that's all.
Yeah, no, but it's worth speculating about because there are rumors floating around about it. But anyway, I think we'll leave that there with Sony for now. I'm sure there'll be more news next week. Absolutely. Tom, let's get back to the people here. We got some supers rolling in. We gotta get to.
Hey, you people. We got Robin 10 for a 5. Don't ask how I know, but once Sony decides on a direction, they are not turning the ship. This regardless of feedback and input from clients and employees. Yeah, they are a stubborn company.
Bunch of idiots. Terrible, terrible movie makers. Terrible movie company.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's very funny. Last year they had like the biggest movie of the year with K-pop Demon Hunters, yet they didn't have faith in it and they sold it to Netflix. That was a Sony animation. They would have made so much money if they kept it, and they sold it to Netflix.
I don't know that they would have made so much money though, because their channels of distribution would have been different. They didn't already have a deal in place with Netflix.
Yeah, but it would have been
they would
it
have been
would
able
have
to
been in theaters, so they would have collected the theater money, and they probably would have had better negotiation deal with Netflix, or it might have went to Disney. And either way, they would have made more. They would have made considerably more money than they had selling it.
Yeah, I think they only profited 20 million.
Man, I
Right.
wish I had that statement. I only profited 20 million.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Robin 10 gifting 5
Thank
Fake Wizard Live
you.
memberships.
5. Thank you.
5. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
We got Just Insane 20.99 for 10 banger. Sony ponies will eventually get priced out of their membership and sales by variable pricing. Then years later and now trapped in Sony's closed off ecosystem with no other affordable gaming hardware.
Oh my gosh. It's
It'd
you know what's
be-
crazy is I hear that and then I think of, oh, I forgot about the variable pricing thing. And there are constantly those, oh, I forgot about that over there and this over here and the DRM over there and yeah, variable pricing over here. This is nuts. This company's terrible.
Unfortunately, all I can think about with this super chat is the Tim Dillon clip of him talking about, you think people are going to get healthier? Do you think people are going to get smarter? No, it's just going to get worse. So these people, the Sony ponies that are diehard fans, I don't think even if they're in massive credit card debt, they are going to just keep on slurping the Kool-Aid because that's all they have now. That's all they have now.
Well, Tom, you can go in debt now by just playing EA's college football 2027. I don't know if we're talking about that tonight, but you can go in debt now with your credit card just in a video game. It's fantastic.
wait, you bet on the video game?
No,
Dude.
you have to level up your character in a single player game, and you have to pay for points, and the points are
Oh, so it's a pay to play sports game.
We're going to do that next. We're going to do that next topic.
That's
sorry.
fine.
I just
Okay.
Isaac, you're going to love it. You're going to
Okay,
love
I
it
haven't
when
heard
you-
this,
when
so
you hear
this
about
is
it.
new
Yeah.
to me.
It's dropped. The news kind of just dropped today. It's yeah.
I said it last week, and I'm going to keep on seeing it. I think we're going down the route of people are going to start putting collateral on their organs. That's where we're going.
Yes.
They're going to put collateral on their body parts. We got Robin 10 for 2. That sell-off is 100% indicator of a big hit coming. I think so.
This is not financial advice. It's just an observation, and I kind of agree.
We got Camchi for 199. Isn't Vote No Wallet same as Abandon?
Sure. Vote no wallet, but the problem. Okay, the problem there.
it's a good question.
I mean, it's a great question. It's the problem is like I'm not going to buy that thing. I see this online in the comments. It's like, yeah, well, I didn't buy that game because I'm boycotting, and then I see the same people because I recognize the names, and it's like, oh well, I got this game, I got that game, but I didn't get that one. We boycott that one over there. We stuck it to that one, and then they fold on something else. We're at a point where it's time to abandon the entire ecosystem and get the heck away from these companies. How we do that is a lot harder because a lot of people don't have the disposable income to just switch to the PC gaming or something else, or or something else.
I mean, the way I look at it is that scene from Braveheart when Mel Gibson's like, hold,
Yeah.
like we all have to work together, and if you don't work together, if there's just one faulty person that goes through and says, well, I bought it, and then you're like, oh, right. Like I said earlier, sheep and shepherds, right? Once that breaks over, then the floodgates open and people go. But if you just hold, I'm telling you, the companies will break faster than you think because they need this number to go up. It's called the corporate salute for a reason because they have a lot of people to pay, a lot of things moving, a lot of parts. And if they start losing that money, they start panicking.
Yeah, I wish there was more. I mean, after doing this for as long as we have, and the last more than a year of just watching how things have changed, even with like the Switch 2, right? Of how people are like, I gotta have it now. I can't miss out. I gotta get it on day one because the From Software, they're doing that Duskbloods game. I gotta have it. The Duskbloods game. We don't even have another trailer. We don't have it. We're over a year later. We got no word on when we're getting the Duskblood. You bought it on day one, more than a year early. At some point, there's a problem there, which means that people don't have the strength of will to fight back. And that's so it's like, unfortunately, I think 30's right, where it's going to come down to like, hey, it's going to come down to needing a movement, because the movement needs to overpower the people that are you don't have the strength of will. They need to stand. They can't stand on their own, so they need to stand in numbers.
Because they don't know,
that's what
though.
it would take.
You got
They don't know.
admit though, the people in this channel are educated because they're listening to people, watching things, follow the news. There's a whole section out there that just buys games, sees game, buys game, put it in the thing. They don't know about the developers. They don't know about the studios. They don't know about the layoffs. They don't know about any of that, right? So it's just word of mouth, getting out to people.
Yeah. But Wizard, you're forgetting what happened to Stellar Blade, and that petition and call outs did work. Well, that's because they were going up against a single company. It was a single studio that they were up against, not the entire conglomerate that doesn't need you. They needed you over there because there was a single game sale. Yeah, Wizard hates Nintendo. What Sony has done is worse than everything Nintendo has done. It's like every week we do the show and somehow somebody else is topping it.
Wait, Wizard, does this mean you're a Nintendo fan now?
Yeah, and I'm an industry plant as well.
You are. I'm gonna expose the 9 Switch 2s that you already own.
That's right. There's you saying that, there will now be people on Twitter saying that he owns 9
I might
Switch
just,
2s.
I might just AI a picture of you with all these Switches around you.
Yeah. It's there's gonna be reply videos that are like, he actually owns many Switch 2s and he's been lying about it for all this time. He bought one on day one and he lied to his audience.
Guys, I got this exclusive clip that he tried to take down off his stream where he actively admits that he has 9 Switch 2s.
It's just his face on like one of those Elf Yourself videos for Christmas. Like, I own Switches. It's him dancing around.
Mom, I told you not to come in my room. I was exposing the fake lizard. Mom! I don't want pizza pockets right now.
Bring him in 10.
I told you not to come in while I was recording.
Oh my goodness.
Kip Cole for a 5 says, you're talking too long to say the investors are the last boss. Now more than ever, indie is important. Priv devs, no investors.
Okay, so I saw this one, and I have a question based on this. Because I don't know this, and maybe one of the three of you would. Could an indie developer create a game for the PlayStation 2 right now, put it on a disc, and it would play on the PS2?
Oh, I believe so. Because there's people
like,
that
would that have to be approved by PlayStation? Or could people theoretically just make good games for older systems based on the parameters that are there?
Well, there are people that are making games for like older systems, like
I know, like
small,
the 64-bit ones, and that kind of emulator.
They put them in the
stuff,
cartridge and you can put them in your actual systems and stuff like that. I don't know for a fact, but I would assume that obviously if you're mass producing them, right? Like Sony, I believe, has a thing where you have to go through them to get a game on their system because of their quality control, right? Mm-hmm. Where like Steam, you can just throw it up there and it gets through. I think for Sony and Xbox, and again, Chad could check me on this. I don't know the exact thing, but I'm pretty sure they have a strict, policy of getting games on their system before they just willy-nilly put it out there, because they have shut down other games not selling on the store because of problems. So I would assume.
Interesting.
I don't think it's impossible. Now,
if you're making it for yourself, Isaac, and you have a PlayStation 2, and someone's like, "Hey, I made a game for the PlayStation 2," and I give you the disc and put it in, sure. But like mass producing it,
no, that's where my mind goes to this, because obviously we have Fake Portal, and you can go and see all these indie games, and there's so much excitement there about that. But I just always wondered, like, why don't people just make good games? Because I said it a few weeks ago, but I'm like, unless you're like a super fan of specific games and like technology, we kind of hit a point where the graphics are already exceptional. You might see a little lag here and there, but if you're just a normie player like I am, I don't care about those things. It's not that big a deal. So if someone just developed games that you could play on the GameCube, play on the Wii, play on the PS2, the PS3. If you could just do that, why couldn't we just make more games that play on those? Because then we have basically the power to the people, like we keep talking about, to develop good games. I mean, I know there's a lot of money that goes into it, but developing a PS2 game didn't cost $400 million to do, $100 million to do. It might be more money, but you could definitely do it for cheaper.
I
Right.
think the issue of just someone trying to do that of like the example of it being like, oh, they made a disc and you could play it on your PS2. It just comes down to manufacturing, because if it is an independent studio doing it, I doubt that they'd have the wherewithal to be able to mass produce them as if it was Sony doing them. Which is where you have Steam, where they're able to just put it up there and now anyone can buy it online, and
Sure.
they, as long as they have the PC. But like, you know, it's the same sentiment. It's just like doing it to, you know, when you have the companies or like the individual guys that are doing it where it's like, oh, well, you could play this on your Sega Genesis. There's that like level of novelty to it where it's like, oh, it's just like the old cartridge and you could play it on your Sega Genesis, but we also have it on Steam because not everyone has a Sega Genesis, or not everyone wants to pay the extra X amount of dollars for the Genesis cartridge type. Because usually if it is a solo dev and they have it, it's a lot of money for it to be the physical version that you could put to the console. It comes
Right.
down to manufacturing costs.
All right. Thank you for that. Robin Ted for two says this $2 is provided by my cancel PlayStation Plus refund.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Sony.
you, Robin 10.
My name, Jamie Max Huge. My name, James Max Hughes. For a 5 says subscribe to GameFly for a month if you want to play Wolverine. Yeah, it'll just take 3 weeks for you to get the disc because of how many people will be on there doing the exact same thing. Shout out, thank you for that. The Commonplace Critic for 5 says hello, Wizard Tom 30 Indigo. Great to see you all. Entertainment today is creatively castrated and morally defective. We need to work to change it. Well, we're trying. We're trying, but that's really hard to do. It's going to come down to more than just us for sure. It'll be you and everybody at home doing a little extra on your own too. Get the word out. You got to tell people. But thank you for that. I totally agree. Chef Eddie for a 5 says, I don't play video games, so I don't care. But Sony is also the largest producer of DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K discs, and I think they will drop these as well. I fully expect those are going to dry up.
Yep.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Do you think that part of them selling their share is in preparation for doing the announcement that they're going to go all physical gone?
Yes.
Do you think that we're okay? Because right now it's okay. PlayStation games are no longer going to be on physical. Do you think that like within the incoming months we're going to be looking at, hey, we are no longer producing Blu-rays?
I think that's what's coming by 2028. Yes. If
But
they were
I think
willing
you'd
to
have to
kill
look at-
video games, then
Well-
movies are toast.
But I think you'd have to look at like how many people are actually buying them. You know, like they mentioned it in the thing that you had pulled up from X that they're trying to increase profit margin. Well, how do you increase profit margin? You basically delete physical products because you don't need them anymore. So if you can make everything digital where people either pay for access or pay for like, I guess in this case, not ownership, but a licensing fee, then that's essentially what they would do, because then they wouldn't have the overhead of production. Their cost of goods is essentially only the production cost and marketing. And then from there, you've just got this, continuous cycle where you can produce. And especially if you can already get people onto the PlayStation Store, or I don't even know where people would buy, movies anymore. But do they sell movies on the PlayStation Store? I have no idea.
Not
they also
anymore.
Yeah, they
anymore.
have to take them away from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they removed 550, but I didn't know that was all of them. So if they're just willing to remove movies from there and people can just find them somewhere else on, YouTube or wherever else they would buy movies from, people will just do that. Because again, then they only ever own the license. They don't have to actually burn any discs. They don't have to actually put it into any of the plastic hard shells. And there you go. They just figured out a way to save money. It's not what anybody wanted except for them, but they continue to get to do it.
Right. Thank you for that, Chef Eddie. Mellow Rebel.
Mellow Rebel.
I don't know. Mellow Rebel. For 5 says, it doesn't make a difference, in my opinion, if they change course. The death force is scary. These ponies will fall on a sword for this company. Goodish on Gears content. Oh, thank you. Goodish, yeah. Yeah, we have fun. We have fun. Appreciate that. Yes, these ponies will fall on a sword for this company, 100%. Norm Al Man for a 5 banger says the Sony jabronis already proved to the world that they'd pay $1,000 for a cardboard box with an electric paperweight in it. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do, and they're still doing it. Yes. Kamchi for a 999 for me. I pretty much abandoned Sony for years since I never bought PS5 and PS4. The last game I got was Elden Ring as a present, haven't touched it in a long time. I refuse to buy any Sony and Samsung stuff. Yeah, hey, look, it's to each their own, right? It's to each their own, but you're absolutely right. Thank you for that. Fallen Order for a 10 says, what's up, man? Good to see you. Sorry I'm late. I agree with everything Asha has done except layoffs of ID. I also don't see anyone talking about the 5,000 visas. I don't trust that at all. All right, so we're going to talk about the ID layoffs in a second, but also, and Isaac, I'm curious to know if you heard anything about this because I've looked into it. Mm-hmm. I have not found anything proving that the I saw this in my comments in the video from today. I've seen it a couple of in the chat here about people saying that Asha requested 5,000 H-1B visas for Xbox, for Microsoft. I have gone through multiple sources to try to find this. I cannot find anything that proves it. The only thing I have found is that this was a rumor that was started on social media, but I haven't found anything else corroborating it. I don't know if have you heard anything about this?
Let's save that and jump into it when we talk about the IDs because I have found other sources that talk about it, but their sources seem shaky. So seems like it could go either way.
So there is something.
I found it on Newsweek. Like,
okay,
I've seen people that are talking about it.
I think I saw that, but there's no. All right, well, okay, so we'll get into it. It. All right. Thank you, Fallen Order. Good to see you, brother. Robin 10 for 2 says, don't forget to like the stream and cancel PlayStation Plus. That's right. Yes. Smash that like button wherever you are. Fall Hard 81 for a 10 says, money for you. Thank you.
I love the picture. It's like Step Brothers, but
Step Brothers.
That's awesome.
Fall Hard with a 10 with another 10 banger says goal. Yes, we have hit the goal. Thank you, Fall Hard. We have done it with your help, with all of your help. We have done it. Thank you. Kellamore for 499 said, if Helen of Detroit has a hot twin sister, why wouldn't Paris just take the sister and not start the Trojan War? They are twins. They are identical. You're talking about like the real facts here. This is, oh my gosh, this is a really good question. I guess we're going to have to wait and see when the movie drops next week. Yikes.
I keep on joking with Wizard, and I'm going to let you guys in on the joke so you can spread it around. But basically, the Odyssey's coming out. The Odyssey, I don't believe, is going to be a superior adaptation of that story when we have the best version of the Odyssey, which is the original SpongeBob movie. As the original SpongeBob movie is basically an adaptation of the Odyssey and one of the best movies, period. So I don't think Christopher Nolan's going to pull it out when you have the SpongeBob movie.
The competition is high there, Tom. Yeah.
Competition is very high.
Yeah. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
3 tickets to the SpongeBob movie.
And coming in right here, Valiant Renegade for a 1999 banger for Wizard stuff. Good to see you, brother. We'll see you in a few days. We're all gonna be getting together. Valiant Renegade will be there at the Southeast Game Exchange next weekend, as well as most of the panel
next
here.
Weekend? Holy,
we are,
dude. We're 8 days.
Man, we've been talking about that for so long. I cannot believe that.
Well, we're traveling in 8 days, but it's actually the event starts in 9 days.
Okay.
But we'll be getting there on Thursday. Yikes.
Okay.
All right, VR, good to see you, brother. Thank you for that. Wait, real quick. Can we auction off Wizard's hat? I don't know. I maybe after we hit like 250,000 subs, we'll do something silly like that. Maybe
you can auction off the digital a wizard hat.
Right. We can do that.
Yeah, you don't need
we
the
should
actual thing anymore. Yeah, you should just do the digital version.
Did you see when they announced the digital version? Domino's said that they were going to start switching to digital pizzas.
Digital pizzas.
That's just the future, you know. So
that's right. The future is digital.
The amount of knowledge that's been shared with that hat, though, that'd be honestly for me, that'd be a crushing defeat not to see it anymore.
Well, I would just get another one.
It's not the same.
Just go
it's not the same.
Hey, October's around the corner. They're already. I've seen in stores they've already got Halloween stuff going up and out.
Oh my goodness!
Spirit Halloween. You know what we got to do, Isaac? We got to pick up a bunch of hats to then put on our own storefront.
That's true.
That's what we need to do. We got to pick up these. Yes, Spirit Halloween. We're gonna buy out all the wizard hats.
Well, I'll say this because I know that we were talking about it at one point. At the Southeast Game Exchange, we have wizard beards.
Yeah, we will have beards.
We will have beards. We have secured the goods, so there will at least be beards that are there. And
not
annoying?
beers, but beards, right?
Beards.
Beards.
And we did a picture last year, filled a room with everyone there. So with beards, I think we can do better this year.
All right, so I got this is one of the original beards, right? But I also got a replacement one from the same company that ships these, and they are terrible now. So I'm really nervous because that makes this is one of the only ones that I have that's legit. I'm a little nervous. We don't have any solid backup beards except for the ones that we have and that we're giving out to people. So I'm gonna have to swipe a few of those. All right, but all right, let's get back to the news. We got a lot of news. We love hanging out. Thank you guys for all hanging out. We got over 800 people are watching right now around the world. Shout out to all of you. Let's get back to the chat. Back to the news. All right, man. Here we go. Insider gaming, and people are talking about this all over the internet. College football. This is EA. College football 27 has single player microtransactions, and it's only the beginning. There's another EA controversy brewing. There always is. This time involving its college football franchise. College Football 27 was released on July 2nd for those who spent $150 on its MVP Plus membership. And while players are praising the game for how it plays on the field, there's a lot of anger in the community for what many believe is a massive overstep by the studio, being EA. Players who've had the game for a week have noticed that EA has added microtransactions within their main single-player modes, Dynasty and Road to Glory. And they did so without previously letting fans or creators who attended a special preview event in Chicago in June know about the additions. Yeah, you could spend more than the price of the game itself. While microtransactions have been in games for nearly 2 decades at this point, this specific one have many up in arms. EA has added the ability to pay real money to upgrade your player or coach depending on the mode. For example, if you want to upgrade your coach in Dynasty to the max level at the beginning, it would cost you $100, which is more than the cost of the game. What's more frustrating to players is that, and this is the real point of contention, is what EA removed from the game while adding the extra costs. In College Football 25 and 26, players were able to adjust specific sliders to increase the amount of XP earned. This would allow players who may not have the time or simply don't want to grind to level up quicker and play how they want. In College Football 27, those options have all been removed. The only way you could level up quicker now is by spending the money. Gross. Over the last 24 to 48 hours, several creators, many of them who have been partnered with EA as far as its creator program, have publicly called out these new microtransactions in the game. Yes, so apparently there's a whole bunch of people that went to these events, and now they're coming out and calling it out, saying we did not know when we went to these preview events, they did not tell us that there was going to be this level of microtransaction added to the game. This is nuts. This is, this is out of nowhere. However, it's EA. So can we say we're actually surprised with this? Now, 30, you heard this story a little while ago. I want to go to your commentary first about what are your insights on this and where do you think? Is this because of the merger, or is this because EA is just one of the worst companies on the planet?
Well, yes. The answer is yes to all of those things. So one, all of these content creators, and I don't really talk bad about other content creators, but the reason this is happening is because these people that talk about Madden football or college football all of these years with the microtransactions, with the ultimate teams, they dug their own grave with this, right? Every microtransaction you spend with the packs and the ultimate cards and all of this other stuff has led to this. This is, in their world, the one horse armor. It's just $2 horse armor.
Yep.
And now you're looking at what they've done, right? Two is, it is the takeover, right? Like once they got bought out, these guys are like, well, how do I get my, what do they sell for? $50 billion or something like that? Or is 55 billion?
It's like 55 billion dollars.
$55 billion. Okay. How do you think they're going to get that money back faster? Well, they already have, it's just like with microtransactions in a mobile phone, right? If you spend $1 on a microtransaction on a mobile phone, you've qualified to make it to, will they spend $5 now on the microtransaction? If you spend the $5, you get opened up to the next room, which is 10 and then 50, then 100, and they know where to place you and then entice you to pay for these things. That's why there's whales and krakens and all these other things. That's what they've done with the college football. And it's even more gross because college football, when it came back 2 years ago, it was gone for like 13 years. They brought it back. Right. They paid the athletes like $600 for the one-time use of their likeness and stuff inside the game. So if you were like a freshman and you took it, you got a free copy of the game and $600, and they can use your likeness until they're done with the, your whole franchise inside the actual game. And now it's a single-player game. And as the guy made, I don't know if it was this gentleman in the video down below, but there was a gentleman, because I was watching Angry Joe's video on it because he's Angry Joe. So he talks about football games every single year. But there was a gentleman that was talking about it, and he said, because Joe went to go look at his video and showed that, oh, if you don't like this, you just turn it off, right? Turn off the thing so you don't have to purchase to get the points to level up your. Well, they did a patch and they removed it from the actual game where you cannot shut it off now. And you can only make it slow or slowest, right? Or normal. There is no way to shut off the thing. So if you want to level up your character, you have to pay to get it up, up, right? And at minimum is $50. $50, which is just $20 less than the actual game. I am so upset about this. And I haven't bought a Madden game or an EA Sports game in like 15 years. Okay. This is exactly why people make content and talk about this stuff on the internet, to educate people. Stop buying this trash. That's the nice word to use for it. Okay.
Holy crap.
You know what this reminds me of? Back a couple of years ago, there was this Harry Potter mobile game that if you got up to a specific point,
I remember that.
Your character would be trapped in Devil's Snare. And the only thing you could do was either wait for you to be able to use actions again or pay to free them. So either you have to wait like 5 hours for your energy to refill, or you needed to spend money to just get them out of it in that flat. It's giving just like, well, we're going to lock this behind. Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think it's even that. Yeah.
No, this was it. I remember this.
Yeah. That's all I could think about with that was just like, hey, we know you're playing the game. Well, oh, you're stuck? Well, pay up. I'll give it you out if you give me a little bit more money. I know you just got this. I mean, granted, that was a mobile game. Still didn't make it right. But the audacity to be like, hey, we know that you bought this game, this single-player game, but if you want it to be a little bit faster, you're gonna have to hork up some extra cash, We're a small indie game here. We can't do this by ourselves.
Yeah, we're a small indie company, college football. Another one that comes to mind, I always think of this because this was the first, at least as far as I remember, that did this like egregiously. And it's Middle-earth Shadow of War, which was a Lord of the Rings game, is now realized. Well, this is from 2018. This was after the game drop. I think the game dropped 2017. Realizing loot boxes screwed up the game 6 months after launch. So the lore here is that they sold a game. It has 3 acts in it, but then there's a 4th act. So now you finish almost all the game. And then Act 4 was an additional 40 hours of human grinding. So you can play through the whole game. You have a great time. You get to the end. Boom. It goes to a dead stop. And you need to grind out 40 hours to get to the true ending. Or you can rip through loot box microtransactions to try and speed up the 40 hours. And it took a long time for them to change this. It took a long time. Now it's not there at all. Right now, if you even because this brought so much bad attention, if you even open the loot box menu, they'll just give you free stuff now in game. Like you cannot buy anything at all. They've shut down actually, I think that company was closed. I think that company's been shut down since Monolith's been shuttered by Warner Brothers, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, their whole storefront is gone now. And if you just go to that menu, it's like, oh, sorry, here, have free everything. Everything's free. It's very silly. But yeah, man, Shadow of War did that, and it killed their game. And guess what? There hasn't been a sequel. Even though there kind of could have been. All right, but there is one more point. Yeah.
I just think what's interesting about this is that for a number of years, they weren't allowed to have college football games.
Correct.
So now they bring them back, and they've only had it for a few years, a couple of years where they've been able to, and they've already figured out a way to ruin it again where people are – and the part that's sad for me is that people are sad to see college football disappear. That was something that was super fun. There are 300, D1 teams that they could play with, or, all these different options. It was fun if you were a college student getting to see you get turned into the game. They never had the rights to do it, but now, with the NIL and everything, they figured out a way to make it work, like 30 said. But, I think they knew they were being sneaky. That's why they don't show the people at first when they go to the event, and then they just turn it on. And now they've already made it where college football is basically dead again. It's incredible how much of a roller coaster we can go on where people have like these moments of excitement where they're like, I really want it to come back. And it comes back, but it is absolutely not what you wanted it to be. And it's gone again just like that.
Yeah, but they're manipulating the process of when you're playing the game. So the grind factor is super long. So you pay the money. That's it. It fundamentally changes how the game reacts to you.
Oh,
and
of course.
But
I'm saying, that I totally agree with you on that. I'm saying because of that, they've now killed any desire that the people had to even bring the game back in the first place. So it's almost like you've got this people willing to throw money at it. I will buy it. They're going to sell tens of millions of copies of this game because of how excited people were to do it. Now, a year or 2 years later, people don't want it anymore.
Now there's another part in this I just want to cover. So, we do have the merger, right? So for those who are out of the loop for a while, EA is set to change in a major way in the near future. Last year, it was announced that the company was being sold to a group that included the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, the PIF. They like to get involved in things and destroy things. They destroy things, buddy. Take a look at Embracer for those who are looking for a little extra lore. That was done by Saudi Arabia. All right, and that's a pretty big deal. It would also see EA take on $20 billion in debt as a new company. Okay, but sources tell me that EA has been looking at ways to add more monetization options to all of the games and franchises in its portfolio, whether it be College Football 27 and its single-player modes, UFC 6, which will have paid expansions for the first time, Madden 27, which will have more monetization as well, or EA FC with its upcoming The Grounds mode. Everything is on the table regarding how EA is preparing to pay off that debt. Even future single-player only titles from EA will have more monetization options implemented. Guys, I have a real question. I'm not a sports guy. It's a serious question here.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you buying a Madden 27 when Madden 26, 25, 24, 23, they were all the same? Why are we still buying? And these games do numbers, all right? How many FIFA games do we need when each year they are exactly the same?
I can tell you,
why is that?
I used to buy every single one up till I think it was like Madden in 2009. I think is the last one I bought. So
that was a good one though,
right? And I think the only reason I got that one though, Isaac, is because it came with a free NFL ticket. So like I bought the ticket and it came with the free game. So that's
Gotcha.
I didn't even buy it for the game. But back then it was about the lineups and stuff like that when people got traded and stuff like that. That's why you bought it, for the updated roster, basically, right? And it was like $60 back then, right? And then most of the time people would wait. a couple months afterwards, because as soon as football season's over, it crashes down, and then
Mhm.
you can get it on sale and whatnot. Now it is just a roster, but it's about your friends playing. So if you're playing online or friends, not even your close friends, just online friends. So when you get the ultimate team, now you're competing. Now it's competing of whose team's better. It's almost like a deck builder, right? Basically, you're building your deck of cards and putting them out there to try to compete against other people, right? So that's what the ultimate team has done to Madden, to FIFA, to all of these games, and that's why people play them. But now, over the years, because the game's been so buggy and glitchy and they haven't fixed it, people have started quitting, right? So obviously they're like, well, let's take the microtransactions and put them into the single player aspects of the game now. And first they try it in the college game, and obviously it'll probably come to Madden when Madden comes out later this year.
So wait a minute. I guess I'm just realizing it. The loot box system, like the ultimate team mode, that really is just ripping packs.
Yeah.
Because it's a loot
100%
box.
like that.
Oh my gosh. So you're buying the game every year for now $70 to then gamble.
Just to play
in
with your
it.
friends, to get the better, to get the better team, to get the cards, the trade, to do all,
Oh my gosh. I mean, I knew it was
See-
disgusting, but I didn't realize that disgusting.
So let me tell you this, because I'm a sports person. I didn't buy all of them. I never got really big into Madden. I liked Madden 2008, 2009. Then I bought 2016, and I had FIFA 16. I just this past weekend, because again, remember, I said it here live. I'm giving away my PS5. I found someone dumb enough to buy it. I sold it. That person then brought the PS5 back to my house last weekend, and they had purchased Madden 2026 and FIFA
Oh
2026.
no, they're normies.
And I played both of them, and
Oh.
they are 100% identical to 2016. So again, as 30 said, they were paying for the updated roster, but now they keep updating the roster. So there is no point. It is only so that they can keep making more money. But truthfully, it is just like fantasy football. There
Yeah.
are people that have just built this to be their annual ritual. They say it's
Man.
August. We have to get with our friends and do our fantasy football draft. Now, if you ever want hours of funny content, just go look up fantasy football punishments. They're hilarious, objectively. However, it is part of people's ritual, and it is really, really, really hard to break people away from what they know and do consistently every single year. So if their mentality has been buy the new FIFA, buy the new Madden, whatever the case may be, they just keep doing it. It is an addiction, and that is just what they know to do. Now, the only thing I will say, FIFA historically has banger music. So if you just want good music, FIFA's probably got the best music of any game that's ever existed. They consistently do that every single year. It's incredible. But I don't think it's worth the price tag. It's definitely not worth buying every single year. But again, it's an addiction that these people just don't know how to say no to because they've done it for so long. 30, I'm glad you've broken out of that.
Tom, you were going to say something?
You know, EA as a company plays a very important role in our world at large.
Oh,
and
boy.
that is by being a very clear and distinct example of greed in the Bible. Like, they are biblical level greed. Like, that is what their purpose is for you to point at and go, like, you see, kids, when it talks about greed, EA, that's what that is. That's like kids at kindergarten be like, you know, greed is EA. Like that's their purpose here. That's all they do. And that's all of the decisions they make is purely out of greed. How much money, how much juice can we squeeze from these peons that keep buying our products? We know our products are bad, but they keep buying them anyway. Can we just get a little bit more juice out of them this time? We got a single player game? We need more money. Come on. Yeah.
You mean this?
This actually makes me want, because I was interested because they're making the Star Wars game, a Zero Company, which is the
Zero
XCOM type of
Company.
game.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'm interested in that, but at the same time now, I don't know. I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait for it to come out and see what it is. Obviously, I don't pre-order stuff. I'll wait for the game to come out 6 months, see what kind of DLC they have when it goes on sale. Like, I'm just not interested in EA games as like I used to be.
Well,
Yeah.
with that game, it's now it's EA. So what it's going to be is you're going to have it launch, and then you're going to have the launch DLC pack or the pre-order bonus pack, and it's going to be okay. Well, we're going to have missions that are DLC locked, and then we're going to have characters that are DLC locked. We're going to have this. They're bad.
But how far away are we from them not being DLC locked and being ad locked? So every time, if you don't pay for the DLC, then you have to watch an ad.
Well, they're also talking about putting ads at EA games.
I know.
In the sports games and stuff like
so,
that.
But how far away is it? I don't think it would be in the middle of a game where you drop back as the quarterback and go to throw the ball, and then they
cut to a
put an
commercial.
ad. Right, cut to a commercial.
And then when you're
Did
playing on
he catch
Sony
it? Find out
PlayStation,
when we get
you
back.
have to
Right.
stream at your television set because they have a patent for this. Where if like a McDonald's ad comes up, you have to say McDonald's so they know that you're watching. Yeah, it's a patent that's been there for.
That's disgusting. 30. That just ruined my perception.
Well, you got to understand that, Isaac.
Oh
if you
my
don't
gosh!
Click on the ad to then buy the Schick razors that were just promoted to you as you're throwing the football. It's actually a guaranteed. He's not going to make it. So if you watch the ad and if you actually buy the product, then he's going to definitely make that score. Otherwise, immediately it's gonna glitch, and then he's gonna get tackled.
Buy the improvement of the players, or click on the ad and buy a product to improve the players.
Yes,
dude.
Yes.
We're living. You're telling me that they've patented the sci-fi dystopian corporate takeover world that is again supposed to be sci-fi. Where it's like, you must keep your eyes fixated on the screen. We have a camera watching you. If you look away from the screen, the ad restarts.
I'm being serious. They have a patent for that. You have to
Oh
say
my
what's on the
gosh.
screen so you can stop
This
watching
is a Simpsons
the actual
episode.
ad.
Wait,
I guarantee you there's a
EA
Simpsons
Sports.
episode with this.
It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in your ass.
That's the next step of this. That's
Well, that's what I was going to say. What is
gonna be the
it?
next step.
Neuralink? The Neuralink is going to be like, if you don't pay the premium, your body locks up and your brain stops until the ads finish playing. Like, that's what's going to happen.
We are getting
My
closer
God.
to Wall-E every day.
No, Wall-E, they lived in a utopia where they just sit in the floating chairs. We're talking about your brain locks.
Yeah,
up
but
and you
they're
start
sitting in the
teasing.
chairs because their body's locked.
Oh, you want your quarterback to work? Sell us your kidney.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Before you sell it, though, they ask you if you want the insurance policy first.
Well, who do you want to go? Well, if you sell us your kidney, you also do get either a free Whopper from Burger King or a free Frosty from Wendy's. Which one
And you
do
have
you
to say
want?
out loud. Yeah, you have to say out loud, I will take the Big Mac.
Free Big Mac. You want the Subway sandwich? No, damn it.
That's crazy.
Oh, no,
dude. Come on, man. All right, this is insane. All right, we're having a good time. We're not blackpilling today. We're having a good time.
The future's looking bright.
Future. Robin 10 for 2 says, Real Life Fake Wizard, will you and Hypno be doing a first dance? No, that's kind of gay. Bros Pros for a 5 says, fun fact, I was in the market to get a PS5 for CFB 27 and GTA 6 until very recently. Coincidentally, that Steam Cube looks way better now, and there are other ones that are not from Steam that run the Steam OS that seem pretty cool. Heck yeah, dude. Valiant Renegade for a 999 says, oh, great. So now EA is grifting to pay for their NIL grift because that's probably what this is. I mean, so would it be, and I guess that the answer is probably yes, but like the name, likeness, and using their identities and stuff, is it going to be that much to get college football go? Like they don't have this in NFL, do they?
Well,
are you paying?
In the NFL, they pay you just to be part of the team, and they decide your value based on what you can bring to the team and how many tickets they think they can sell because you're there, how many jerseys they can sell, whatever. The NIL is name, image, and likeness, where historically college athletes could never get paid. When I played a Division I sport, we couldn't get paid. And the semester that I was done, they changed the rules completely and then said, now you can be paid. So now you have college athletes that are making $3, $4, $5, $10, $12 million a year, where some of them are literally saying, well, I actually want to stay in college for 12 years because I'm going to make less money going into the NFL, going into the NBA, going into the MLB. It's absolutely insane, but they're doing it. But the NIL, like the money right now, the NIL is wild because it's not regulated by anybody. They're just like, hey, we're just going to pay you. So now you've got these like sandwich shops that are paying people $250,000 a year just to like recommend people go there for lunch. It's absolutely wild stuff. So it is a grift 100%. Now, I fully stand by this. What they're saying, EA is grifting to pay for the NIL. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Camchi for 199 says this is why most games are Steam and PC indies like now. Yeah, that's I mean, hey, look, that's Steam. Remember, Steam is a DRM. We've run into this problem where Tom and I will be like, hey, I'm logging in over here. I'm going to do this. And then it'll give Tom a message, be like, hey, your account is being used in two places at once. And it's like,
you got to log back
remember,
in.
Yeah.
You're not allowed back. You have been signed out.
Yeah. No.
No. It happens, man. So they're not immune from the nonsense. G-Man for a 5 says, does anyone remember arcade games? They pioneered microtransactions over 50 years ago. Man, now that's true. That is true. They did.
They also provided didn't have systems in your house, really. You know what I mean? So you had to go to the arcade.
Yeah, you had to go
the latest, greatest new game.
Had to bring your quarter somewhere else. Valiant Renegade for 999 says, yes, the NFL guys get paid. The college guys now can as well. This is why Nick Saban retired.
Oh,
Saban.
Wizard, it is so painful.
Saban.
I was really hopeful.
I'm not a sports guy.
And I'm not a game guy.
Saban,
I am, but
I'm a Power Rangers guy, okay? It's Saban. It's the same spelling.
Oh, man. Oh.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Saban.
It's Nick Saban.
Listen, Nick Saban is the #1 most winning coach in
I'm dressed
college.
like a wizard. You think I watch NFL? Get the heck out of here, dude.
And I'm going to make this year. Our goal is for you to see one.
It's not going to happen because I'll watch the game and then the ADHD brain will take over and I won't be able to focus on what's happening in the game.
We watched the Super Bowl. It sucked this year.
Well, I'm not denying that, but
it sucked. It was
a
a horrible game
where you have to watch a full football game start to finish.
It was miserable.
Breaks. Oh my goodness.
Oh, shout out VR. Guys, we have breaking news. And this is
breaking
legit.
news.
Tom, do we have a breaking news clip?
No.
He's gonna do the
play the Godzilla one. The Godzilla.
Click the button.
I didn't click it the second time. That was all you, big boy.
Oh, click at the. Guys, we do have a little bit of reporting. This is following up on a topic we covered earlier. Now we see here. So Jason Schreier breaks down revenue for physical versus digital for a $70 game. Okay. So this is what, talking about the main first party versus third party games. So this is the video here. We're not going to cue this in, but hey, shout out. First party, the physical edition, they get the actual company here. So if it's a Nintendo first party, it sells for $70 in stores. So if you go to Walmart, that means Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, whoever it is, they're getting $45.50. If you buy that game digitally, they get the full $70, assuming it's, again, that first party game, right? Correct. So if you're buying Wolverine from for PlayStation 5, yeah, and you buy it in a store, that means Sony's only getting $45.50 of that deal. Now, if we jump down here to third party for EA or Take-Two, which Take-Two, that's GTA 6, right? Or Ubisoft, if you buy the physical edition, they get $35. But if you buy the digital edition, they get $50, $49. So we're talking about a 40% higher margin, a 54% margin. Guys, physical discs are dead. They're dead. This is right here. This is what it's all about. It has nothing to do with oh, well, it's too expensive to produce the discs. No, they just want the better margins because people are buying games and they just want a couple extra dollars from it. And that's what it is.
It's the corporate salute.
Do you think people would care as much about the transformation from physical to digital if digital wasn't just a license and it actually warranted ownership?
I think that's a really great question. I think the answer is a little less. There would be some people who would not want to let go of their physical editions because they believe in having the physical edition, and that's okay. I mean, I'm in that camp, But I would feel more secure in it, and I think a lot of other people would feel more secure in their purchases if they knew they had the right that what they're buying is something that they owned, that they would be able to take with them forever, right? Like that's you have the store GOG, which their market guys. GOG, if you're listening, your marketing is shit. It's shit. You're dropping the ball. I'm talking. Look, GOG, we're talking right now. You're crank it up. Look at this. Look at the data that's happening. People are still talking about it. We have over 1,000 people around the world watching us right now talk about it. And there's other channels talking about it. There's other channels, they have thousands and thousands of more people talking about it. There's channels, hundreds of thousands of views talking about this. This is a really important thing. And GOG is not doing its due diligence to get in front of the world to be like, hey, when you buy from GOG, you own the installer. You own the game. There's no associated DRM to block you from accessing that game. Their catalog is a little smaller, but that's okay. They can continue growing their company and growing the catalog. This is nuts, dude.
I don't think people have a problem. I mean, I don't have a problem buying digital because certain games I want digital because you're not going to own them because they're live service games. They're going to be taken down because the server goes down. But single player games that I like, I want to own. I want to put it on a physical disc. I want to be able to put that in my, whatever it is. And if it's not physical, then I would buy it from a GOG or I would get it on Steam and then I can back it up because there's are ways around it to do stuff like that on the PC. So I think we said this last week. Digital is not the problem. It's the customer rights, the digital rights and stuff like that people have a problem with. And we just need options and they don't want options. They want to own the whole thing.
We're going into a world, and then Isaac, I'll let you take over. We're going into a world now where everything in gaming is going to be digital only. And in America, you have no legal rights for it. The United States, the federal government, the United States government, we don't have any laws protecting us in this world, which is how these companies are able to get away with their digital rights management, because there is no consumer protection laws for digital purchases in this country to the scale and size that we need them to be for a full rollout like this.
So 30, you brought up, you just said that piece. It made me wonder, live service games. A lot of live service games only offer the live service component to it. Like when I bought, when I had a PlayStation 5, I bought the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 at the time, and I couldn't do anything without the internet connection. So you say, there are a lot of live service games. Do you think that the problem, at least in your position and what you understand, the problem would exist if live service games also had a non-live service or local version that you could play?
I mean, that's what they're fighting for now for certain games, but they don't expect all games to have something off these live service games. Hence why Sony is pushing more towards the live service stuff, because they don't want to, if the rules go through and it goes worldwide, not just in the UK, they're going more live service because they don't have to then backtrack and then hold it for people to be like, oh, we're just shutting it down because it's a live service game. They don't want to make the single player first person game like the single player games, because obviously if it's just digital though, and it's only on the host server and you're downloading it to play on your box, they can just take that away from you anytime. You can't keep that anymore. Right. So This is what people are fighting for. They want the rights to own the stuff. As far as the live service, you're never going to win that battle, because once their servers are gone, I mean, you could play Destiny's a good portion, right? Destiny 1, you can still play Destiny, it's still online. Once they shut those servers off, I don't know if you'll be able to play Destiny at all, even though it's a single player game. That's what people play by themselves or play with a small group.
Right.
What are you going to say, Tom?
Right. Well,
oh no, I was just I was gonna make a joke that you guys are coming down on these small indie companies that really need their money. They can't be settling for these physical prices. They're barely scraping by.
Have you
How
delivered
rude of you to
shareholder
try-
value today?
Are you providing shareholder value today?
Oh boy.
Wait, where'd you get that piano?
All right. We have to talk about the elephant in the internet right now,
Oh,
and
I
that
thought we
is
could avoid it.
Xbox. No, we got to talk about this one because this is a massive story. So earlier this week, we had Resetting Xbox. This is published from Asha Sharma herself. This was an email that was sent out to the Xbox team globally, and then she posted it on Twitter. And she also, we're going to read it directly from the Xbox News. Now, this one's massive. I don't think we're going to read through the whole thing. We're going to read through a little bit of it and break it down and talk about it. But there are a lot of updates that have happened since this that we also need to talk about. So we're gonna keep this on the road. So team, this, and again, this is Asha speaking here, or her publicist, or whoever wrote this. We are beginning the most significant restructured Xbox history. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 people throughout fiscal year 27. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today, and in addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize that a year-long restructuring, restructuring, my eyes glitched out, creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I want to be direct about the scale. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought us out because they love this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decision does not reflect their talent or dedication, although it does. And we'll do this pause right there, just in this opening. Clearly there's bloat in this company. Okay. The Xbox brand is dying every day. It dies a little bit more. It was only a matter of time before this happened. We've talked about it here on this show. Everybody has been talking about this for months, for years now. You can ship all the games you want. You can win all the awards, but people aren't buying and people aren't playing these games. We've seen the reports come out. Windows Central, Jez Corden has covered it. Even just a couple of days ago, there was a new report that said nearly all of the games that were shipped on Game Pass, that were these big first-party games, South of Midnight, Hellblade 2, Hi-Fi Rush, a lot of what would be considered the AA games, but made from these AAA studios and made for AAA dollars, did not have the engagement required, did not have the retention required to prove funding or to prove viability, to prove ROI. And so, yeah, it's like, okay, today's decision does not reflect their talent or dedication. I think it does, because I think they failed. And I think that this is a mark of a company that has failed. Guys, what say you?
I think with the examples you gave of the games that you gave, I think there's cases to be made for that. There's definitely cases to be made for that. But I unfortunately, in a situation like this where you're having mass layoffs, you are going to have individuals that definitely were talented that probably shouldn't have needed to have been cut. I don't know the full story behind it. I don't know the full things, but I saw scrolling on X before that one of like the head designers of like the character models for Doom, like 2016 through the Dark Ages, was on the chopping block. And you see stuff like that, and you're like, oh, that was a guy who had involvement, like had a direct involvement where you actually saw this guy's work. And it's unfortunate to see, oh, he got let go. But also, we don't have the full grand scope of everything behind the scenes. We don't know everything about this, but in a situation like this, there's casualties of war, essentially. As a whole, if the machine is broken, you have to bring it down to fix it. And this is just part of fixing it. Will they be able to fully, is this, clearing slate to build it back up going to be what Xbox needs to get back into working order? We don't know. We have to see where this goes. And also, everyone keeps on mentioning the visas. Where does that play a role in this? Is that part of this right now? So there's kind of a lot. There's so many moving pieces with this that it feels like it needed to be done. But is this actually going to be is this actually going to help in going through? In one of the things that she put out, she talked about how there was 14 layers of management in decision making skills.
Yeah, that comes up later on here. This is, and I'm just scrolling here. There's a lot here to discuss. I don't think we're going to get to it all now, but just like real quick here, we're operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform of publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. As that happened, our core business weakened and we added more teams, more investment, and more time hoping for a better outcome. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. We must reset Xbox. Now, to continue playing on that, we jump over to all of the studios that are gone. Double Fine is going independent. Compulsion Games is going independent.
Undead Labs, and also
Undead Labs
Ninja Theory, Double Fine, Compulsion, and Undead Labs
are being sold off. Yes,
2 of them are being sold off. 2 of them are going independent, and they're also helping them finish their games.
Yes. So they're still working things out there, and ID Interactive has lost a lot of people. Lots of people from ID Interactive have been cut. Obsidian has taken some massive changes. And then there was another one too. Oh, Arcane. Arcane is going to be going independent, or going to be sold off as well at a later date. So that would be the 5th one that is actually leaving from Microsoft and going someplace else. And Tom, yeah, you're right here. If I just switch over here, Xbox just laid off somebody who's been with Bethesda for 27 years. And I don't want to get into the specifics here, right? But we are seeing like this is a massive near culling that's happening inside of Microsoft. And it's been a long time coming. But you know what? Like, okay, this is crazy. A 27-year veteran here, a core Bethesda artist who worked on Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4. We haven't seen a game ship from Bethesda for you to keep a job. Elder Scrolls 5 was 15 years ago. Skyrim was 15 years ago. Now, that's not this individual developer, designer, artist's fault. This person's a casualty of Todd Howard level management, of the micromanagement, of the HRification of this company. This person and all of the people should be furious about what Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond let happen. They let him get away with it. And here's the next piece to this, and this is very fun. This is a meme. We got memes already. Phil Spencer, 8 years with Obsidian. Obsidian was owned by Microsoft for 8 years. Let them run around doing dumb garbage games. We got Avowed, which was trash. We got Outer Worlds 2, which was trash, both within the same year. 8 years Phil Spencer had Oblivion. Do anything there for Game Pass. That's fine. Just do anything for Game Pass. Asha, in 3 months, give Fallout to the man. Yeah, make a Fallout game. And what did we find out today? Obsidian has been mandated to cut Avowed 2 and make a new Fallout game with the Fallout New Vegas, not showrunner, but like director, coming back to helm the project. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. 30, I got to get your insight on this. Is this the right move or is this the wrong move?
No, this is 100% the right move. Like, people are upset. They're like, oh, look, I didn't get to watch your video. I watched a little bit of it, and then my kid came in, and then I had to stop and stuff. But I'm not happy people lost their job, but as a gamer, I'm happy that Xbox might be making games again, right? Like, I'm happy that they're pruning the tree so the tree can survive instead of chopping down the tree, right? Like, they needed this, and this is like a dumb moment. Like, who has 14 levels of management? And some people, I said this to Tom earlier, people thought it was like just 14 people. No, levels, 14 levels of people, meaning there's hundreds of people within these things to get anything done. And if someone's like, well, I like to change this, it would take forever. Undead Labs was bought in 2018. Okay. They didn't make a game the entire time they were with us. They were just updating State of Decay 2, right? Now State of Decay 3 is about to launch, and they're like, oh, we're going to sell them. Like, This is the mindset of a company that wants to make money, but yet they are selling a game off that's almost done, right? Then they had Blackbird, which was a couple months ago. They fired off and stopped that game, which was an MMO, the next MMO from the people using ESO, and they canceled it. It was almost done. It was like 85-90% done. People were like, "Oh, it's amazing," and then they closed that, and now they get like half the staff go there as well, right? And people are like, "Oh, well, this is bad." No, this is good. This is good. As a gamer, we want games to be made. As a company, they also want games to be made to be profitable. Avowed 2 not coming out, fantastic, right? It didn't make money because it was over $100 million. They put it on Game Pass. Any game on Game Pass that's over $100 million is never going to make its money back because you need 70, 80, 90 million people on Game Pass that are not buying the game, okay, to recoup that with volume. Hence why Netflix stopped the password sharing. They needed more revenue to come in, and then they started making original content. It's amazing how that works, right? So they were okay making the games and putting them on Game Pass if they were 80 million and less, right? $100 million games. Gears of War E-Day, I have no idea how that's going to make its money back because that's day and date on Game Pass.
It's not.
Right.
It's not going to kill. It's going to kill the franchise. The Gears
100%.
franchise dies with E-Day.
Right. Go ahead, Tom.
Just a little side tangent about Gears. I think that realistically, what they may be banking on is we looked at it the other day with Gears 5. They may be trying to bank all in on microtransactions because if you go in Gears 5, every single that may be what that may be their little caveat on what they think they may be able to make their money back on is going crazy hard on microtransactions. That's where I could see them thinking, okay, maybe the game doesn't sell well, but the people paying on Game Pass, if they buy skins, if they buy currency with us, that will slowly but surely add up to, us making our money back. That I don't want to take a sandbar. That may be their bank on E-Day is we're going to get them on the penny pinching microtransactions.
Then they were real quick. They were moving their profits from Game Pass, and where were they putting them? They weren't putting it back in Game Pass. They weren't spending that money there. What were they doing?
Funding the machine. Not into Game Pass, but funding the other games. I would have to imagine. I mean, we're finding out now today, or
Minecraft.
And it ties back to something Phil Spencer said. Minecraft,
was
funding the machine. So Minecraft content is starved, and yet the Minecraft makes so much money. Minecraft makes so much money that it's being used to subsidize
that and
all
Candy
the rest
Crush.
of the Xbox.
Yeah, that and Candy Crush. Yeah.
That and Candy Crush.
And we just got chairs in Minecraft, y'all. They finally added cushions. You could sit in Minecraft.
Years. Yeah, 13 years took them to put a cushion in the game.
Here's the problem with this. Take a look at this, Tom, because I think you're right. What's the problem with this picture here?
Does not look anything like Gears of War. If you squint, that kind of looks like Dom and Marcus on the left.
Well, Marcus should be up front, really, in this picture. He's
Bingo!
the lead. Yeah.
Bingo! Yes. Marcus is the backseat to whoever this character is, and that is how they are shaping this game. Whoever this character is going to be more prominent in this story.
Well,
Gears of War is the most hyper-masculine franchise for men in video gaming, and yet they keep wanting to replace Marcus with a woman character, with a female character.
There's going to be a scene where this character calls out Marcus for doing something wrong, and it's going to be a whole... Marcus is going to be too bullish early on, and he's going to be reined in, and
that's how he becomes Marcus Phoenix that in Gears of War 1, because she shaped him.
Yeah.
I mean, every time we see Marcus, it seems like he's kind of he's got a confidence problem. Even this image here, he's not... In all of the marketing, it's like he's not the tough guy Marcus yet. He's got to become the tough guy Marcus.
Which is
I don't want that. I'm a massive Gears of War fan. I don't want this. I don't want this image. This is why Gears E-Day fails. If it fails, oh yeah, that's the thing. You can have all the cosmetics you want. You can microtransaction the heck out of this. It's a third-person game. You as a player are seeing the microtransactions. It's funny because Tom and I, we've been playing through the Doom Dark Ages, and what's interesting about that is There's skins. There's unlockable skins. It's a single player first person game. What do I care about the skin? I'm not seeing it.
So it's either weapon skins. So your gun looks it's either a shinier gun or a darker gun, and then basically it would be your arms. Your arms are now a different thing. The skins were supposed to be in Doom Eternal, because Doom Eternal had a multiplayer mode where it'd be two demons versus a Slayer. So the Slayer you'd be able to customize. The demons you'd be able to customize. Because there would be a segment where you would see the different versions of them. In Gears, you do have the third person shot of, hey, I can actually see my skin. I don't know what they're doing.
Now
I think that with Gears E-Day being on Game Pass, I think their bet is that, hey, we spent $400 million on this game, and we think we're going to make it back with microtransactions, because people are still going to want their it wouldn't make sense in this, but they're still going to want to play as Coltrane. And Coltrane shouldn't even be in this game, but they're still going to want to play as him in the multiplayer. So for that, you're going to have to spend $5 on that Coltrane skin.
Real quick, before you jump to this, I just want to say the really good thing about them losing the companies is that the 4 companies got disconnected and they're saved. Like, there's 4 studios still alive. They still have and they got to keep their IPs. Now, what they do with those IPs and stuff down the road, fantastic.
Do you know what that means? Okay, so firstly, there's a couple things that means. Firstly, that means that Asha here, and I can't believe it, but like the people at Microsoft were actually trying to reduce casualties.
Yeah,
that's number one. They were trying to reduce casualties, which means that this 3,200 here is a legit bloat. That's
100%. And it's only 1,600 right now, and 1,600 down the road. There's 500 that's not included in that number, which is the studios they got rid of.
Right. So then furthering that, what that also means is that Microsoft looked at the IPs and said, "We'll save you, but you ain't worth shit. These franchises ain't worth nothing."
Wasn't it with the one company that Microsoft is keeping Psychonauts or something like that? Didn't
Double
they throw
Fine,
in?
yeah,
yeah, they're like, yeah, you're your own studio, but we're keeping your basic, like your big IP.
Yeah, they kept Psychonauts. But okay, there is one more angle to this story that's really important, and that is the ID Interactive, which is now being reported. Update: 136 workers have been laid off at ID Software. The news comes with Xbox preparing to reset its video game division by eliminating 3,200 roles. Now, ID Interactive has been taking a beating in the news as of late because they shipped Doom: The Dark Ages. Doom: The Dark Ages did not sell well. It does not have strong engagement metrics.
What was the
Is
budget,
it a bad game? It was expensive. I know it was expensive.
I'll look it up.
So, but here's the thing: like Tom and I, we just played through Doom: The Dark Ages, and it is not as good. Yeah, we just posted a review on it on the review channel.
Despite the comments, it is fun. I said it's fun, but people are like, "Oh, he said it's not even fun. He doesn't know what a good game is." I enjoyed my time. It's just it's not as good as Eternal was, and then that's something that needs to be said. But no, it's.
Oh yeah.
This game released at a weird time in the market, and it was a $70 game, and people were still like, I don't want to spend $70 on a game that's not as good as the last game you guys put out.
This was so you got to think it's a Doom game. It's a prequel. Eternal was kind of the conclusion to Doom. So you're doing a prequel to something that had a controversial finale, and that game was like considered really fast. And then this shipped at $70. It was a full-priced game. And granted, they wanted you to go to Game Pass for it.
Yeah, well, the budget was
$70
between 100 and 200 million. It had no business being on Game Pass.
Correct. There is no way that this game was going to make its money back on something that, I mean, I don't know. What did we finish it? 8 hours, Tom? But that's with messing around. That's like with like pausing and just leaving the game on.
No, it is a decently long game because it's 22 chapters, and each chapter you're looking at like probably like 20 to an hour each one, depending on
No,
how
they're like
short it is.
30
No,
minutes
with
tops.
okay, if you're going for full collectibles, you may be looking at an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're going
Yeah.
for 100%, you're looking at an hour. But you could beat that game quickly.
Yes.
Point being is this is a game that had an uphill battle to go because of that budget. And so fast forward to now, and they have scraped this down, and they let 136 people go, which means that they must have gone in. And if I'm going to give them a little bit of credit and think that maybe Asha knows what she's doing, and maybe the people they're bringing in know what they're doing. That means they inspected this team and said these people aren't making money. It's not going to generate money. And then we also got news that they were then told that ID moving forward, even though it seems like it's just a support skeleton team here now, but now it's their job to make more Doom games, make Quake, and make Wolfenstein games. So, I'll kick it over to you guys if there's anything else you want to add. But I think there's one big point that I'd like to resolve with. I think this team is going to be the first one to experiment with AI. That is my gut feeling. My gut feeling is that this is a small team that it's good because the fact that yesterday we hear that they've been given a mandate to make Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein games. So 3 big games. And they've also laid off all these people. Then that means to me, I think this is going to be the first big team that experiments with AI to get games out faster and better. But Isaac, I know you have more insight on this H1B thing, which would be another possible option here.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
So the H1B skerfuffle, we'll call it, just this mountain of information that we got here. It's actually really weird where it originated from. It didn't originate from Newsweek. So if you go into X Wizard and you type in 5,000 H1Bs, what will pop up is what I want to put on the screen because that's what I want to talk through. It's a very unique situation because this is the only place that really talked about it, but they're a reputable place based on research that was done to complete the idea that this 5,000 was coming. It wasn't just a random number. So basically the way that it works is anytime a large company in the United States is going to do a mass layoff of 500 people or more, they have to file what is known as a warn notice 60 days in advance to let the government know we're going to be doing these mass layoffs. So this company that we're going to look at here, it's cutoff.io, cutoffs.io. They track these warn notices and they see where these layoffs are coming. So these 3,200 notices, this is not out of nowhere.
Is this it?
No. Type in the search bar, type in 5,000 H1B applications or just cutoffs.io. Okay. Oh, get rid of Microsoft. You don't even need Microsoft. It's just 5,000 H1B and it will pop up. Wow. Okay, it popped up differently for me. Type in cutoffs.io. And so they track these warn notices. That's it right there at the top. And if you scroll down, it's the first one right here. Okay, this is the breaking information that kind of came from it. So again, this says right here that there's not all the context that people need. What people do have to understand is Microsoft is the number one, if not in the top 3, for H-1B visas as a company as an entirety. So this kind of claims that she specifically filed for 5,000 H-1Bs. There's nothing that we can definitively prove that says she was the one that filed for 5,000 H-1Bs. There is things that are leading in the direction that Microsoft themselves have applied for 5,000 H-1B visas. But this comes at a time where they've already announced that they're going to be firing all of these people. They're looking for ways, as you said in the video today, Wizard, she's been acting as the Terminator. They're looking for ways to either say, we can save this company or we need to shut it down. And in this case, they're firing 20% of their workforce. Cutoffs.io is reputable only in the sense that they track these kind of things. They're looking at the warn notices. They're looking at the H-1B applications, because you do have to apply through the federal government to get that. But if this is to be true or believed to be true, there was a recent, again, not trying to get into politics, but there was a recent change in the H-1B process where instead of a $1,000 per H-1B submission approval, it's now $100,000. So now take 5,000 people times $100,000. You're looking at a lot of money just for these H-1Bs. So whether or not this is actually true, you've seen it in different places. Newsmax covered it. Cutoffs.io was the one that originally brought this to the internet. But the question is to kind of not yet be answered. We don't have all the information on whether or not this is true because Microsoft themselves has not commented what they would be doing with all these H-1Bs. The point is that Microsoft is trying to hire this number. This is a legitimate number from Microsoft. We just don't know if they're going to be going to the Xbox division or not. And then I went down a rabbit hole. I said, okay, well, let's say H-1Bs, let's take that aside. We say, okay, can Microsoft themselves actually make up for some of the loss that we're having here? So I say, okay, can they increase production of hardware, which they create the Surface Pro, that's their tablet line right now, or their computer line right now. And what we find out is that Microsoft really doesn't have any bargaining chips in the industry. So the Xbox itself, like, they're struggling. They can't do anything to make it better because they're not buying enough. Their Xbox division is relatively small. Their Surface Pro division is relatively small. So they're kind of stuck with their pants down. And I think that that just leads even further to your point earlier, where this actually could be bloat. 3,200 people is bloat that they had to get rid of to actually give this thing a real fair shot to say, yes, we truly can make Xbox something again, or we just need to shut it down entirely. I don't think based on what I'm seeing and all the research I've done, I don't believe 5,000 H-1Bs are going to be going to Xbox. It seems like none of them would be, but it seems like Microsoft has finally internally, based on their actions, admitted that they are struggling. They do need to do something about it. And they're finally starting to cut people off that are not adding value, which is exponentially different than 5 years ago, where tech was the fastest industry in history for hiring. Basically, if you had a pulse, you could get hired by Xbox, by Meta, by Google, by anybody. Now they've hired way too many people and they need to figure out where to cut it to actually bring it back to proper profit margins.
Well, to answer that question, they hired 30,000 people from COVID to 2022. And now they've fired like 31,000 total in the last 3 years to get back to what they were before COVID.
But I think that even though those numbers are super similar, right? Pre-COVID and now, hiring 30 and then firing 31, there's this idea in marketing that if you've ever been on TikTok, I'm sure you know it, but you maybe didn't know that this is something they discuss in marketing. It's this idea of trends, right? You've got micro trends, you've got trends, and then you have macro trends. And the economists look at this too. They look at micro trends as, in TikTok world, a micro trend lasts 2 weeks. The trend might last 4 weeks. The macro trend might last 6 months or something like that. So when we look at it here in terms of economics and jobs, the micro trend is like 6 months. The trend is 2 to 3 years. The macro trend is usually 5 to 10 years. So 30, what you're talking about, where they hired 30 and had to fire 31, that was a macro trend that's similar to seasonal hiring like they do in Christmas. Target does this all the time. They hire people for the Christmas season. They let them know it's temporary and then they let them go. The biggest distinction here is with a lot of these tech companies, they didn't maybe necessarily do such a good job of letting people know that either AI is coming because they didn't know, or maybe they did and they just kept it, or that they're going to be letting people go because their services just won't be needed anymore and it's temporary.
Man, this one is interesting because as far as I can tell, I can't find anywhere else that is reporting this other than this cutoffs.io, which that doesn't necessarily mean it's discreditable. It just means other people are deliberately not reporting it.
Mhm.
Or if they are deliberately not reporting it. And that's not to say it's conspiratorial. It's just why? Why is that? Because this is a hot button topic, and it makes me think, especially with how the access media wants to run. Like the access media right now is boo-hooing across the internet, saying, "Oh my gosh, our industry is suffering." Like, "Oh my gosh, my friends are all getting laid off," even though what the access media has done contributed to this entire collapse by them running defense and lying for 15 years, not asking any questions for 15 years. My theory is that if this is true and we get wind of it, I would say by tomorrow, they'll be running with it like crazy because it indicts Microsoft and it makes their cases worse. They would get more attention. So I don't know. I mean, this has been community noted here. Asha Sharma is an American citizen born in Wisconsin. The 3,200 layoffs she announced affect Xbox's global workforce, not just Americans. Additionally, Microsoft filed for roughly 2,900 H-1B applications company-wide in FY 2026, not 5,000. So I think it's a matter of time.
Yeah, for Xbox specific.
For Xbox, and that was saying company wide versus this isn't 5,004. It furthering what Isaac was talking about. Yeah,
I think this one, it's interesting for them to make this claim. I think Cutoffs needs to back themselves up, which would also be good because if they back themselves up and they're reputable, then everybody else is caught with their pants down. So we'll have to wait and see. But man, like, look, there is news dropping even while we're here on stream. We're getting updates that things are changing. That apparent, like here, just something that just came in was Obsidian has been trying to make, and this is a rumor, but Obsidian is reporting that they've been trying to make a Fallout for years, and they were getting blocked by Bethesda. Like if that's true, yikes. Todd, settle down, Todd. Todd, make Fallout 5, please, Todd.
Well, here's the thing. Now they're forcing Obsidian to make the new Fallout games, but do they want to? Right? And then they put a whole bunch of people on stuff, and they're trying to force these games out faster because they think if they put more people on it, they're going to have a better product, which really is just going to be a product that's unfinished, unpolished, and out the door just so they can make money on the IP.
I piggying back on that, I think what we're going to see it worked before, so we're going to try to emulate the elements that worked before without understanding why it actually, like, oh, Obsidian's going to do another Fallout game. It's going to be like Fallout New Vegas. No, it's not. The team that worked on New Vegas is not there. Sure, you could bring the headrunner in, but the team that worked on New Vegas, they're the team that you knew that made your favorite game, the team that worked on this studio, they're gone now. They don't exist there. The company may still be there. You may bring back the head guy, but like those core people, odds are they're no longer there. So you can have Obsidian make a Fallout New Vegas type game. The best thing they could do is just do a like remaster of it where you keep everything that's there.
There's rumors that they are doing a remaster of it and try to get it out in time before the next season of Fallout series.
Well, and that's where I could totally see where Todd is blocking them from doing that, because if you played New Vegas and then you watched the Fallout show, they undermine a lot of New Vegas. They undermine almost everything about New Vegas. So I could see where Todd doesn't want that to come out, because that now takes away from his little Lego playset that he built. He doesn't want to see anyone taking things from the past. It's our stuff now. So I think it's interesting the steps that they're taking to try and fix things, but it's going to be the next 2 years of seeing, okay, did it work? Was this correct path to take? Did you put people in positions of powers that were creative enough and knew what the market wanted to make good games enough to actually bring Xbox back? Or did you just give it to the same people who ended up making the same mistakes as last time?
Yeah. Wizard, can you pull up the Asha Sharma post that was on X from yesterday? Is this the whole thing? The whole email that was sent out?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care the words that are in it. Can you just scroll so we can see how long this is?
Oh, I could bring up the tweet because it's a little easier on the eyes.
Yeah,
so
that's
this
fine.
is the whole thing.
Yep, just keep scrolling. Here's what I like about this. As much as there's some corporate jargony bullshit in this that may or may not be true, it feels like something's being done. And I like that because it feels like for so long, nothing was being done. And everything was done behind closed doors and everything was out of our, out of our reach of knowledge. We never knew anything. We never had a say in anything. And I'm not saying that we have a say in this now. It just felt like forever. It was just, here it is, take it, and that's the way that it goes. And this feels like, and maybe I'm reading too far into this and I'm giving Asha too much of the benefit of the doubt, but this actually feels like this was very thought out, this was very thorough, this was intentional, and this is not just like when we've seen in previous layoffs where they just say, like, unfortunately, we're moving in a different direction. There's a lot of stuff here. And I think you can individually read into each section.
Isaac, we're here. This is the Asha Sharma shirt. We're at plan A right now. Okay. and then when plan A doesn't work, it goes to plan B, and then plan C, and then plan D, and then
I'm
goes
not
back
saying
up
it's
to
going
plan
to
A.
work.
This is plan A of the Hail Mary to try to get the corporation back into good standings with the fans. And this is why they put this
I'm
out
not
there.
saying that for the fans, they should be excited about this at all. I'm saying I've spent enough time in business with major companies, working for major companies, to see how quickly they're willing to cut people off at the ankles. I appreciate the amount of information that is put into here. Nothing changes. They still cut 20% of their workforce within the next 12 months. I understand that fully. However, there's a lot of stuff here where I'm saying, you know what? At least it seems like something's trying to be done. At the end of the day, I've almost never played an Xbox. I've played less than 10 minutes of Halo in my entire life. I don't even know anything about it. I don't care if Xbox burns to the ground, burn the whole industry to the ground. It doesn't make a difference to me. I'm just saying, when Nintendo does dumb stuff, when Sony does dumb stuff, it's a press release where they try to and in the new age, we don't need discs anymore. There's actually words here that are validating the thought process that went into making some of these decisions.
Guys, this is, I think we'll tie it up with this. This is an indictment of the Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond management team. This is the biggest shotgun blast to everything that their leadership was and represents. And I don't think you're going to see or hear from them ever again in gaming, because clearly it was a bunch of malarkey. It was wrong. Their leadership didn't produce enough results. Look, Phil Spencer seemed like a really nice guy. I never liked anything he did. I was an Xbox diehard, and that went away with the PS4, and I haven't cared at all. They got, I like saying this, I'll say this all the time. They got me in the end to buy an Xbox Series S because of the acquisition announcement timing for them buying Bethesda a week before the pre-orders went out. Was when we found out that they closed the deal and Microsoft was buying Bethesda. And I thought, ooh, that means Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be on the Xbox Series X and S.
20 years
I better
early.
buy an Xbox. That was years ago. Nothing. Still nothing. So, but I bet you now we are going to see Elder Scrolls 6. I bet you it gets announced at the Game Awards this year. I bet you Xbox cleans up at the Game Awards this year with announcements and trailers. You mark my words at this video here. And with that, let's get back to the people. All right. Good stuff, guys. A lot happening. Just Insane 2099 for a 2 says, let's get more into the Power Rangers discussion. Let's not.
It's a dead franchise. There we go. That's our discussion.
Dead franchise. Hypnotic over here says, fun fact, don't know if you know, Valve DRM is an opt-in service. Developers have a choice to use it whether they want to or not. There is a DRM-free video game. There are DRM-free video games on Steam because it's opt-in. I did know that, but yeah, as you said, most of them do use it. Shout out. G-Man for a 2 says Gears of Androgyny. Yes. Yes. That is what the new Gears is. Caveat Ties for a 2 says discless here. It's true he has no disc. It's a Ghostbusters reference there. 30, what do you got going on this week, brother?
We just do the morning show from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern every day, Monday through Thursday. Just go over the daily news. So any kind of news that breaks and stuff like that. It's a nice little 2-hour gap in your day. If you're at lunch or you're at work, you're in the car, tune in. It's a good time.
Awesome. Isaac, what do we got going on?
We are preparing everything we can for the Southeast Game Exchange. So we are getting ready. That is coming up next weekend, the 17th to the 19th in Greenville, South Carolina. So if you have not gotten your tickets yet, you can. You will see us there along with some of the other creators that you know and love from YouTube and the YouTube sphere. So love to have you come out and see us, spend some time with us. We're going to do, I believe, a live show. We're going to do a couple presentations. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff that's going on there. They're not called presentations. Those sound so lame. We're going to do panels. Yeah, panels. That sounds way better. Presentation makes it sound like we put together PowerPoints.
Yeah, you got to have a little science board you get from like the CBS. That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Well,
with Sharpies and we just flip the page over. Yeah, exactly. So, but really everything is going into that. So we are doing everything we can to make sure that that is the most fun for everybody that comes to join us. We hope to see you there, and then we cannot wait until we have so many fun things once that project is done.
Awesome. We have there's one more thing we want to show off. So Tom and I have been posting over here.
Oh yes. Today was a momentous day.
Today was a momentous day, guys. We passed 10,000 subscribers.
Oh, nice.
10,000 on the review channel.
On the review channel. Yeah, man. So check it out. Fake Wizards, whereas right now we're on Fake Wizards Live, but we're also over on Fake Wizards as well. This is just for reviews. So we'll do the Doom review and the Adventures of Elliot review and all different games, different movies. I look like a minion.
The big Avatar one.
Oh my gosh, it's 175,
oh my God,
dude.
it's gonna hit 200,000 views. Oh my gosh.
Is it yeah, man, that's awesome.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
I feel like you viewers of the stream can understand that I, Tom the Wizard Man, and the real life Fake Wizard are separate people, but you do need an understanding that the review channel is me and the Wizard doing the reviews. It's not one person.
Are you guys twins?
No. We look very different from each other. We have different eye colors, facial structures,
many
voices.
age year difference.
Tom the Wizard Man is a younger AI version of the Wizard.
Many different things.
Dude, people think we're the same person. People think that the comments, man, are insane.
Yes.
People think we're the same person. When Tom doesn't have the beard on, they think it's me not wearing the beard in a video.
Oh my god!
They think we're the same person.
Yeah.
We don't look alike. We don't sound alike. We have different eye color. But people legitimately think we're the same person in these. It's the idea of if Superman walked around and was just dressed as Clark Kent, wouldn't people recognize Superman in public? The answer is no.
No.
Who are these people?
No.
Do they work for the 14 levels in Microsoft? What happened?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know, man, but yikes.
But we have people who are
Yes, we are brothers.
They'll see a video
At
of
first.
me doing the review and they think I'm plagiarizing the Fake Wizard, not seeing the other reviews that he has done.
Oh my god!
Like people, you're stealing
Yeah.
it. This is so lame. You're using AI to copy the Wizard's likeness.
I have gotten genuine emails from people that are deathly concerned that somebody is stealing the Wizard idea, and they think it's him.
I love that you just can point up and he's right there. He stole it.
And you know we're appreciative of your concern of the wizard branding, but no,
Yes, we're very happy about that.
We're happy that
care.
you're that concerned and you're you want to let us know because there is the whole thing with how there was somebody stole Gary's voice and doing AI videos.
Yes.
There it's a genuine concern, but no. this is our channel where we do reviews. We are two different people. I took the beard off, and people are like, wow, he looks really different without the beard off. It's like, well, that's because it's another person.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I was gonna see if I
love
could
it.
find it because it's like, I just discovered a channel today, and I'd like to call your attention to a particular issue, which is no, that's a different email.
Somebody actually
It
emailed you
was-
to tell you you're being impersonated.
Yeah, here it is. There's a channel out there now called Fake Wizards with someone dressed like you using what I believe is your voice as AI doing reviews. Maybe there's a problem here. Type in Fake Wizard in search and get this one instead. The latest review is about Toy Story 5. If they weren't paying attention, viewers might listen to the whole thing and believe it was you. But one look and you know it's not you. And there is
Yeah.
no substance. There is no substance or proper critique. Check it out. I found it worrying. It may be
Damn,
gaining
Tom.
viewers.
There's no substance or proper
Tom-
critique.
Jesus, Tom.
How could
I'm
you?
catching strays. But
What the hell? What are you talking? That
the-
was our consensus for Toy Story 5.
I know
Most
we
of-
worked on it together. We work on these together for these videos. But then it ends and says the AI fake also said my name is Dom. DOM.
Oh yeah, he can't even.
You're gonna have to put Tom in the picture of Fake Wizards. That way,
Oh.
do you know what I mean? So that
I
way
think
they're
we
not
keep this going as long
confused.
as we can. 30.
I think
Oh,
you're right.
yeah,
Ride
Nigel.
this to the
I
end.
think you're right.
We think it is. We
Look.
think it's funny. That's why we really haven't done that
but
big of a
I'm-
deal
I'm-
of.
But we also love it. Like we really love like this email. We're not making fun of you. We're very happy that you're part of the community. And signs it said, here's the link to quote Fake Wizards. It really disturbed me. I think it's a problem. Needed to let you know if you don't already. All the best.
Hey, well, you know
thank
what,
you.
to be
Firstly,
fair-
thank you
to
for
be
looking
fair,
out.
Wizard, I've known you for 8 or 9 years now, and I've never seen you in the same room as Tom.
That is
Well,
true.
that's just not true.
That's a bald faced lie.
That's a bold-faced lie.
I could say that.
This is
I've
how
never
we get
seen you
internet
guys in the same
conspiracy
room together.
theories.
You can say that. Although it would be really hard to run this show with like a puppet. I don't think we could do that and do it normally.
Well, I'm actually a highly sophisticated AI that
Yeah, right.
has a whole
Here,
personality tied
put 3
to it.
fingers in front of your face. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Can you?
I'm
no, no,
actually-
in front of your face. In
Oh,
front of your.
oh,
It's gotta.
Oh no!
there you go. Okay.
Oh no!
Flickering. I see it. I see it.
No, actually, I'm a 300-pound man. This is all a facade.
Oh, jeez.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for us here. What a great show! This is awesome.
Really quickly, we got Spectre 706 for 5. Rare has been fumbling Sea of Thieves and doing nothing with legacy properties. Banjo-Kazooie theme is still not a sea shanty. Expect layoffs. Didn't everything get hit? Didn't Rare also get hit?
Yes,
Couple
Rare
people,
lost
I
a
think.
few people.
Yeah.
Everybody's losing a few. But guys, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for sticking around. Let me make sure we have the outro set. Guys, we are going to raid Hypnotic, so stick around for the raid. We're going to jump over there in just a second. But until then, create, innovate, inspire, and we will see you next time. Cancel Disney Plus. Bye-bye.